gotta probably do a refresh too.
What's up, Dirk?
Are you talking about refresh with a drink or refresh like your browsers?
Both.
Oh, I was talking about a drink. Were you talking about browsers?
I was talking about browsers, but I mean, since you bring it up, it's not the worst idea in the world.
Just a lot of time has passed since I poured a beer into this glass.
Yeah, I still have a glass in my house that I need to give you. Well, at my parents' house.
Oh yeah, you found it at your parents' house and you asked if I wanted
Yeah.
it, and I said yes.
Yeah.
I still.
What was
Doug,
it?
I still-
What was the glass?
I don't
It was
remember.
the dogfish. I think it was maybe dogfish head.
It wasn't Dogfish Head, I don't think.
I don't know what it was. You know what? I have a
We
lot
get-
still at my house. Remember when I got those shot glasses from Australia and gave to all you guys when I came back?
Yes.
Found
Yeah.
like a ton of them in my parents' house. I'm gonna have to bring them to my house so we can drink out of those sometime.
I had all the
Nice.
over-under shot glasses that we got from Dave and Buster's.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I had those too.
Yeah, those are cool.
I still have here, right here. I still have the tall one from
Oh,
Dave and
yeah.
Buster's from back in the day.
That's awesome.
I think that one was from Project Graduation.
We should go to D&B sometime over by Willowbrook.
Yeah, the new one.
Yeah.
I still haven't gone.
While we're talking about it, why don't we
okay.
do that on Saturday? Do that on Saturday.
Yeah, I gotta see what the fuck. I have to make sure we get shit done.
True.
For the
Yeah, you
house
got
and
like
the-
shit that you got that has to take priority.
Yeah, but we'll see. It's entirely
I know
possible.
we were talking a couple weeks ago when you were gone about potentially going to Yard House sometime. Again,
Yeah.
and D&B's right there.
We went on a Friday night, like at 5:30. It was a 5 to 10 minute wait, which was pretty nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so as long as you don't wait too long, it's
Yeah.
it's not bad. It's not bad.
We went to the that Seven Tribesmen Brewery
Oh,
while
cool.
you were at the wedding. It was pretty cool.
Neat.
I went there again this past weekend. Decent beer. Cool, like the outdoor setting.
Nice. Definitely have to check that out someday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd definitely go again.
Yeah, it's not crowded like at all, so and you reserve a table. So
That works.
right, Dirk, you agree? You were there.
Are we live?
Dirk's just feeling bad for me in
Yes,
chat.
we are.
Yeah, we're
I think
live.
so.
Well, that.
Don't say any
Who
of
all's
that
in
fucked
chat?
up
It
shit
sounds
that you
like
were
Dirk's
saying
in chat.
before when we were muted. Doug. All those hateful things you were saying,
Yeah.
making
yeah,
fun of our best fan,
Dirk was
Dirk.
great.
Can't
Got
handle
5
that shit.
people on Twitch and
Sweet.
3 on YouTube.
Dirk's usually nice enough to pop into a little YouTube and say hello.
Wait, did you already refill, Doug?
Yeah, that's where I. That's where I went.
You sneaky little bitch.
He's a sneaky bastard.
Got my AirPods now. I can hear you guys. All
You
Yeah.
heard, you
Refill
heard
record.
us talking about things in Wayne in the weekend, and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
my chance to duck out.
Doug's untethered, so he can pop out, get a drink, and still listen.
But did he
Well-
fix his internet?
We
The
shall
camera
see.
looks cleaner.
Hopefully.
It does.
It's the. I got a new computer, so
Oh, lovely.
I'm actually. Yeah,
Don't
it's,
bra- don't
it's not my
brag, smutty
internet.
bags.
So this actually like can handle running Discord without blowing up. So that's an improvement.
So that's a novel concept.
Yeah.
Only took 50 episodes. You should have saved it for one more. It could have been the special surprise. Doug's no longer gonna crap out on us throughout every episode.
I don't think I could do another episode with how bad it was.
We just have Doug carry the episode for number 50. Be like, well, now he's got internet and a new computer and shit. Like,
Yeah,
this is all you, Doug.
he can make up for all the time
Yeah.
that we had to carry
You
while he
talked for
was
2 hours.
glitching. That would've
Yeah,
been
well, I had to get really used to like talking and then waiting 2 minutes for you guys to like hear what I said.
Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty
You're a
frustrating.
son of a gun. All right. I'll top myself off. Yeah, let me just top myself off.
What are you drinking?
It's
Jack
dirty.
and Coke?
Yes. Thought I'd switch it up from beer tonight.
Doug, I still have. Speaking of glasses, I noticed that I have. They're
The
yours,
Dogfish had
definitely.
ones that I left.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So when you're,
I was like, I
next-
can't forget these glasses, and then I forgot them.
yeah, I actually meant to bring them down, when we came to Florida, and I completely forgot.
I think
and
they're my
then I remembered
parents'
again.
glasses, so then I would have had to like bring them back to New Jersey.
Oh my God, that would have been. Oh, okay. So it's good that I didn't bring.
Yeah, I
them.
didn't bring them from Florida. I think it was just my parents' glasses.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, next time you're here, remind me. I'll give them back to you. I stare at them like every day.
I mean, you might as well like use them. From what I remember, you didn't have any beer glasses, so
Yeah. This is true. This is true.
So, what else is going on in everybody's life? Well, Murph's filling up.
Went to the
Not
beach
much.
last weekend, which was fun. That's about it.
Sweet.
That is fun.
Work sucks.
Where'd you go to? What beach did you go to?
Point Pleasant, like Martell's
Okay.
Tiki Bar, which I've never actually been to the Tiki Bar before, or maybe I've been there once, but it was a good time. I would definitely. I said to Murph, should go down there at some point. Pretty chill.
Is that the same trip where you guys wound up in front of our old prom house?
No, that was
That was the week before.
that was the week prior. Yeah, because I had to bring Murph to get his car at
What
Seaside.
happened?
We were just talking about the shore
Oh.
and our trip to get
Corey
your car.
mentioned that he went. Yeah.
Yeah, Corey went
Have
twice,
you-
2 weeks in a row.
Yep. But you guys went to retrieve your car from a random spot that you parked it at, and it happened to be parked in front of the house that we stayed at after prom weekend.
Correct.
Which is pretty
Right.
wild. We didn't take any pictures though. I don't know why.
Probably because your car was like in the middle of the road and had its hazards on, so we didn't feel it was appropriate to
Yeah.
take photos. We're blocking someone's driveway, not in the middle of the road.
Yeah. I was on the curb or by the curb, but definitely not in the spot.
All right. Anything else? Do you want to get going?
Yeah,
Wanna
we can
talk
get
about
No, we
going.
were just shooting the shit while you were filling up your Jack and Coke. So
Cool. I'm filled up now. Anyone else? Everyone else good?
Yes.
Yep.
Everyone else fresh, dandy, ready to go? All right then.
let's do it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Live Breathe Film, episode 49. You're here with Corey, Doug, JP, and Murph. Thanks as always for joining us. Today, we're going to be drafting our own DCEU super team. Just to get it out of the way right now, the DCEU is the DC Extended Universe, so we are not including characters from the Christopher Nolan movies, the Michael Keaton movies, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, or any DCEU movies that have not been released yet. So you can't be picking movies or picking characters from The Flash later on or the Suicide Squad since it hasn't officially been released.
It got hot when we were discussing that. Almost had
It
to shut
did.
the whole podcast down.
We should have, if only we recorded it, because things got tense.
It did.
We were fighting. Words are being exchanged, but we're good now. We're ready to rock and roll. But before we get to that, let's just run through some news and share our thoughts on the latest seasons of Rick and Morty and Ted Lasso, M. Night Shyamalan's latest film, Old, Disney's Jungle Cruise, and our early spoiler-free reactions of James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. All right, news. Not too much has happened over the past 2 weeks, but there was one thing that happened that was pretty fucking massive, and that is the fact that Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney over the fact that that Doug's number one pick of the summer pool, box office pool, is not doing as well as it should have done. Right now they're in like a whole fucking public spat. It's pretty embarrassing. But basically, Scarlett Johansson saying that she was supposed to be getting a percentage of what the movie did theatrically. They had promised her it was only going to be playing theatrically. It would not be on Disney Plus Premier Access on the same day. Eventually, they announced that, and they wouldn't get back to Scarlett Johansson. Seems a little weird because I thought they were in negotiations about a terror movie. Talking.
Mm-hmm.
That was something that we didn't end up speaking about maybe a month ago, but that was news. So that was kind of weird. But yeah, basically, she's saying I would have made a lot more money if you went exclusive in theaters. And Disney's counter arguing that it's COVID, have sympathy, like we needed to make our money some way, somehow, because people aren't going to the movie theaters as much as they were prior to COVID. And then also throwing out the fact that she got $20 million for Black Widow. So that's where we're at. Basically, Scarlett Johansson's done with the MCU at this point. Kevin Feige, we know, is not happy about the fact that Scarlett Johansson's upset about this and that all this stuff is in the news. He's all about protecting his brand and hiring huge names off the fact that they work with everyone well. So it's ugly. Are you team ScarJo or team Mickey Mouse, guys?
I mean, I definitely feel that Disney did a very shady thing. I mean, she deserves it's there's a contract signed, and they manipulated the terms. So I definitely don't think it's a good look, at all. So I guess Team ScarJo.
I'm
Doug, as our resident, or sorry, JB.
no, please let's.
Oh, well,
I'd like to hear. I'd like to hear a lawyer's perspective on this.
As our resident lawyer.
She doesn't do entertainment law at all.
What are your thoughts on the matter?
I think it's an interesting legal argument. You have a contract that was signed before COVID, where the contract doesn't contemplate a COVID situation where there could be a day and date release. They signed this contract a couple years ago at least.
Yeah.
And so they signed the contract thinking that
Probably.
a Marvel movie is absolutely going to be released only in theaters. ScarJo signed it probably with the understanding that she would, from her perspective, that she's going to make Captain Marvel money probably at the time. So contract doesn't say anything about whether or not Disney can go ahead and release this movie through streaming. I don't think Disney Plus even exists at that point. So it's an interesting legal argument in that they didn't address this scenario in the contract. I think Scarlett Johansson's lawyer is probably going to argue what they bargained for based on the wording of the contract is that it would be theatrical, being that that's what existed at the time. Disney's probably going to argue that the contract didn't say that it specifically only had to be theatrical, and so it's just going to be a very nuanced argument about what a handful of words in a contract mean. I feel for Scarlett Johansson in that Disney shouldn't be able to. To me, I don't agree that Disney should be able to go ahead and release it on Disney Plus and sync theatrical sales. If Scarlett Johansson's arguing that she should get Captain Marvel money, I don't think I agree with that either, because it's COVID. It's a theatrical Marvel release isn't going to make Captain Marvel money in this current environment. I mean, we're seeing it right now with other
Yeah,
movies.
it likely wasn't going to make even in a normal theatrical environment. I don't think this one would have made Captain Marvel money.
Right. I mean,
Definitely not.
Captain Marvel was leading up to one of the biggest movies in the MCU.
Endgame.
So
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah. So it's different. So I don't know that Scarlett Johansson is going to be successful in pointing to Captain Marvel and say this is what it would have made. But I think she could potentially be successful in arguing that by Disney releasing it on Disney Plus, they've reduced the theatrical sales, and probably point to. And I think the complaint that was filed does point to. What did we say that theater owner group was, like NATO or something?
NATO.
Yeah,
Yeah,
NATO.
no, it is NATO.
I think it points to the NATO saying, that Disney basically like kneecapped the
Yeah.
theatrical sales. So I thought that was funny that NATO got another shout out. But
Getting involved.
yeah,
in
it's
everything.
really just an argument based on probably a handful of words and what that meant. And you're not only just looking at the words in the contract, but you're looking at back when they signed the contract, what each party's understanding was at the time.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where Scarlett Johansson probably has a better argument than people would think just by reading the contract and what the contract says.
That makes sense.
Wow, that was a mouthful.
Yeah.
A lot of podcasts
Yeah,
are
sorry
going to
about-
talk about this, but only Live Breathe Film has a resident lawyer to talk about this
Yeah.
very important case.
From a lawyer's perspective.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now we're going to hear
Yeah.
from JP and myself, who have no law school experience or
No.
anything like that.
No, absolutely none.
Probably going to be more entertaining.
I don't have much to say. I feel sympathy for neither one of these parties. Scarlett Johansson is a fucking like multi-millionaire. She got money for doing the job. Like, yes, she probably has some ground to stand on that, it didn't make as much money as it could have. Disney, on the other hand, is a fucking evil corporation, and it's been pretty out there since even the 90s how they don't really give a shit about the people that work for them. I don't really care about Scarlett Johansson's problem because it's the difference between making $20 million and what, like 60, 70, $80 million. I'm more concerned with what the fuck the smaller people in this movie are getting, how badly they're getting shafted, and how the workers that worked on this are getting shafted. I don't give a shit about Scarlett Johansson making an extra $60 million. It sucks, but it's hard to feel bad for that. I feel worse about the people that produced this movie and worked their asses off to make God knows what. I don't know if they're included in any of this. I don't know if her winning will set the stage for any of that, but I don't know. It's hard for me to feel sympathy for either party on this type of deal. I mean, it falls down on your lawyer. When you're signing a contract for taking a cut of a film, you're taking a risk. You're taking a massive risk. I mean, shit, like, what happens if you sign a contract for a cut of the movie and, like, all of the movie theaters simultaneously fall down when you're on opening weekend or something like that? Like, it's just, shit happens. It sucks, and you move on.
Yeah.
She still got paid for the movie, right?
Yeah, but the only counterpoint I'd say is this wasn't only just COVID happening, which is like your theater's example where they're all falling down. This is like Disney actually took an action
Yeah, it's a
that
Sure, but
potentially affected the amount of money that the movie would make.
Yeah.
And fucked my draft pool.
Most importantly, fucked your draft pool.
And most importantly,
That's ultimately what this is all about.
I should be suing Disney is basically where this...
I just feel like they didn't purposely move it to, like, put it on Disney Plus and in theaters to fucking not have to pay Scarlett Johansson. They did it as a CYA. They did it as, we need to recoup some money from this. And if we put it all in theaters, it's a huge gamble. Just like signing a contract for a fucking,
yeah, but they knew
a cut
that
of the movie
this,
is a huge gamble.
They knew that this was technically a breach of contract. So
Yeah,
that's
but, I mean, like,
the piece that that bothers me.
Do you
because it's
really
setting a
think they did it
precedent.
with Scarlett Johansson in mind? Because I really don't think they did. I really don't
No,
think they
but they
fucking
still
cared.
knew that it was going to be
I
You
think
know,
what her argument was
part of the whole
that-
thing that's going to happen from their decision.
I think her argument was that money is going to directly go into the executives' pockets if it does better on
Right.
Disney Plus than if
Yeah.
it does well in theaters, because that's what
And
stockholders care about
shareholders,
right
I
now.
think.
Yeah.
That was part of her argument.
I'm just
But-
worried that this is going to set, like I said, set a precedent, and this is going to happen more often, with other situations where,
So it's
there'll be breach
it's
of
probably
contract
not.
loopholes like this.
I don't think so.
So I think, yeah. So I
That's
think
my
this is going to
problem.
be kind of a weird period of time where it's probably going to be malpractice if you don't write something in the contract that has to deal with streaming services for any future contracts, because now you know that this is a scenario that exists.
Right.
It's like a
And this
landmark
whole
case.
argument
It's
that-
going to change things.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this whole argument that Scarlett Johansson can make because of the before times, I think is out the window. I think now I wouldn't be surprised if every contract has a
Has a
language
clause.
that deals with.
I always thought there
up
was-
to streaming. Yeah,
There are like acts of God things in contracts
Yeah,
and stuff where
exactly.
it-
Yeah, I always
Sure,
thought
it's
that
called
too.
Typically is always.
it is. It's called a force majeure clause, and it says if there's an act of God that either party doesn't have to perform on their contract if there's an act of God.
you would imagine
Um,
that there would be something
there's-
like this in there. Is it not a common thing for people to do?
So force majeure is, but it usually excuses a party from performing a service.
Okay.
I don't think it would apply in this case.
Well, I think there'll
Unless
probably
Scarlett
be something
Johansson,
like
because
that.
of
in the
oh yeah,
future.
I would imagine there's going to be a million ways that attorneys
Mhm.
are addressing this contractually. So and I don't think I think if an actor today signed a contract and it didn't address streaming, I think that they'd be in a different boat than she is, because we've gone down this road. We know that if you don't say that it doesn't include streaming, then
Yeah.
that's on you at this point, because that's a reality.
Right.
So it'll be interesting. This doesn't affect me in any way, but yeah, I would imagine contracts
What are you talking
will
about?
definitely change.
You're gonna get in last place in the pool because of this.
That's true.
It
That's
directly impacts
Fuck you, mouse.
God damn it, Murph! Why'd you remind me of that?
Yeah.
Disney fucked.
And there's a huge punishment for
I
coming
felt
in
good
last,
about
too.
being like, this doesn't affect me. I'm just on the outside looking in.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Yeah, no, I mean,
I
in my
found
opinion-
I was gonna say I found not a legal opinion at all, or even like any sort of lawyer talk, but I thought Disney's statement overall felt kind of callous.
Yeah,
they were just
heard
like,
that.
how dare
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson not care about
their statements.
all the suffering that's happening during COVID?
Yeah, that was
And
such a
it was like,
twisted. That was such a
They're-
twisted comment.
They opened their theme parks last summer. Like,
Yeah.
come on. They've been making money every chance they could get.
Yeah,
Like,
not a good
they
look.
have money.
This is
I'm glad.
absolutely nothing new.
I'm just glad to see Disney get some egg on their face every once in a while, because
Yeah.
I'm kind of tired of them being like the super everyone, like, oh, they always make the right, they own Hollywood. Well, no, they can make stupid fucking mistakes just.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
Good point.
it's not a
And I like when it's a
contractual
good
dispute,
point.
but they fucked Pixar.
yeah, they fucked
They've
Pixar
like
over
relentlessly
recently.
fucked Pixar during COVID.
Like JP said, they've fucked people over since the 90s,
Yeah,
like
they're-
publicly. They fucked over Robin Williams with Aladdin. They've done plenty of stuff over the years. But right now they're the biggest gun in town, so it's good to see them have to eat shit every once in a while. So
you
yeah,
gotta keep
I'm,
them in check.
exactly. So yeah, I'm team Mrs. Colin Jost. The Colin Jost, he must be Yoko Onoing this thing. He came in, she never sued anyone before
Yeah.
this. He's coming in, he's like, Baby, let's sue Mickey Mouse. Get that money.
But Colin, I have so
I'm gonna
much
be
money
leaving SNL
already.
soon. We need some of that. Papa needs some of that cash.
Yeah, he ain't getting
And,
it. He ain't getting it.
Mickey's putting a fucking hit on her.
But yeah, that's enough legal talk. But since we are talking legal, I guess one real quick thing. This was big news over the past 2 weeks. Bob Odenkirk had a heart attack. He's doing well now, thank God.
Yeah.
I just want to get JP and Doug. What do you think they should do with the final season of Better Call Saul? Do you think they should cut it into like 2 seasons because they've already done like 7 episodes in the can, or do you think they should take a break, then chug along with the final 6, and then air them all at once, like in a whole nother year? What would you prefer?
A lot can happen in a year. I would prefer that they put out the first half and then the second half, but I mean, whatever works for him, whatever keeps him healthier, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree with you. We got to prioritize Bob Odenkirk's health. He's a national treasure and needs to be treated as such.
Yeah, I think he's realized that people
it's hard.
fucking love him after
Yeah,
this past 2 weeks.
Twitter like just blew up when he was down for the count. So yeah, if he didn't realize it before, he's got to realize it now. It's hard to say whether or not to break it up because we don't know the story that was plotted for this past season. If it makes sense to break it up or could work where they could break it up, I mean, I'd love a taste of the next season. And it would kind of fit with what they did with Breaking Bad, but if it doesn't make sense, like I'd rather just wait, I think.
Yeah, it's gotta have a good stopping point. If it just feels like they snipped a season in half at a random arbitrary point, then
yeah, I think I'd rather just wait too. But yeah, like you both said, like they need to take as much time off for him to be fully healthy before they get back out there. So if we have to wait till 2023, we have to wait till 2023. But yeah, I think we're all just fucking happy that he's all right because that shit was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, now moving on to more fun stuff. We'll get right back into our box office pool. A lot of shakeups, a lot of changes, but let's talk about where we're at now. So JP had Jungle Cruise open this past weekend to a pretty good 34 plus, as Disney said, 30 million on Disney Plus Premier Access. Well, basically every other film completely collapsed after its opening weekend over the past couple weeks, or on weekend 3 in Black Widow's case. Snake Eyes, Old, Space Jam, Black Widow, they all had like 70% drops after weekend 1, or like 60-something% drops. And in Black Widow's case, it continues to be around 50%. So not good. The only movies this summer outside of Quiet Place and Cruella that have really had legs seem to be F9 and The Purge for Universal, which has been pretty interesting to see because neither of those franchises tend to have legs. They're typically make a lot of money out opening weekend, and that's that. But yeah, F9's had the best legs since Tokyo Drift, which is pretty crazy, and this is the first one since Tokyo Drift not to have Paul Walker or The Rock in it. And then The Purge, a friggin' horror franchise, VOD a week or so, has been doing pretty well. So, Doug, that was a solid pick that you had with The Purge, and JP, no surprise that F9 was a good pick. And I guess I should notice, Black Widow it's now the number 1 movie or it is about to be the number 1 movie this summer, this coming week.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean, despite how bad like it's doing in comparison to MCU movies, and I should emphasize it's doing very bad in comparison to like Phase 2 and 3 MCU movies. I mean, the only ones that's in comparison to are The Incredible Hulk, the one that nobody talks about anymore, and Captain America: The First Avenger. Those are like the only 2 that's anywhere near. So not good. But it still will be the number 1 movie in North America, while F9 is far and away the #1 movie worldwide, like double the amount of money. So F9 was huge worldwide. And then I should note that this was kind of surprising. Yeah.
Quick question on that, Murph.
Sure.
F9 released in China already?
Yes.
And Black Widow hasn't. Right?
Correct. And F9 didn't do anywhere near as good as the last few. Like I think it only made 200 million, while Fast 7 and 8 both made 400 million in China. But in America, F9 is only made like 40 million less than the last one, or 50 million less, and still counting. So it retained a lot more of its audience in North America, which was not what I think people were expecting going into the summer. But yeah, Black Widow has not opened in China yet. I don't think expectations are too high. Right now, they're on their blackout period where they don't show movies outside of Chinese made ones. I think it lasts a month every summer. So plans are for it to come out in a month. I don't think they think it's going to do gangbuster numbers there. I mean, it's just like a American spy movie. And versus
it seems to
the
like
other big Marvel movies.
China seems to be prioritizing more China-made movies now than they used to. Yeah, which I'm sure plays into it a little bit. Yeah, but definitely. Yeah, I mean, a movie about a character that is dead doesn't bring a whole lot of people in, apparently.
Exactly. But yeah, then this past weekend, a movie that none of us picked in our top 20, or top, what do we have? 24 picks, I believe. Yes, 24 picks. The Green Knight opened to number 2 this weekend, with about $7 million, which was huge for like a A24 independent type movie. I still don't believe it's going to drop very fast based on the cinema scores. Like I think it had a C+ from audiences after opening weekend, but it was cool to see it open as high as it did.
Yeah, I thought this was going to be a good movie that just wasn't going to make money, and I think it's going to significantly drop off after that. But
yeah, but I mean, just like you were super looking forward to it, a lot of people were just like really excited for this movie, and it just seems like everyone will run out for the most part during weekend 1, and then after that it'll fall like every other movie this summer for the most part.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see it, but I'm definitely going to see it week 2 or week 3. But it's
same.
It's a cool looking movie, and it seems to have some buzz around it, at least for it being good. So
yeah, it's got really good reviews. So, all right, let's get into where we all stand as of now. So Doug, he leapfrogged JP. He's now in second place. They were neck and neck last week or 2 weeks ago when we had our last episode. Doug's now at 262 and JP 6. So very close between the two of them. The reason being for Doug's was primarily Black Widow over the past 2 weeks. He also had Snake Eyes open, which made some money, but ultimately bombed. Not the best of picks, but I think it was your last pick, and I probably would have taken it around there as well. So yeah, Doug still has Paw Patrol, which we wouldn't be surprised if it gets removed from the summer calendar. Get moved.
Yeah.
But I don't think Paw Patrol, even if it stays, is going to help you too much. I think you're kind of looking at a bronze best case scenario if we're talking Olympics metaphors. But
is that happening right now in the Olympics?
Yes, Summer Olympics are going on, and doesn't seem like they're making much waves in the news since it seems like a lot of people, big names weren't there, and there's no fans. So JP
I'm still banking on Hotel Transylvania to come back and rescue my team.
Yeah, they're just gonna
move it back.
Do a reverse decision, kind of like Peter Rabbit and Boss Baby, where it just moves a bunch of times.
They're just gonna move it back and be like, "Here you go, Doug."
It just won't make money because family movies aren't doing well. And that like, I guess, what did you? You really only you had 2 family movies that you drafted. One that moved and one that is probably not going to do very well. Because it's like the youngest audience humanly possible.
Stop it, Murph. He's already dead.
Sorry. Better luck in the fall. JP though, 256. Almost came back to second place this week because of Jungle Cruise. Should be back in second place probably by the end of the week. Since it did have a good opening weekend. I think the 5th biggest opening weekend of like the year. And he still has 3 movies: Respect, The Protege, and Reminiscence. So I do expect you to be number 1 over the next week or 2, at most.
Would be nice.
Right now, I'm at number 1 with a $13 million lead on Doug. So Doug is actually very close to first right now. With A Quiet Place, Cruella, and Old, I had 2 decent weeks out of Old, despite the fact that it fell a decent amount on week 2. And I still have Free Guy, Candyman, and Shang-Chi. So we'll see how that plays out in August. And then Corey, you have your big gun this week. You've got the Suicide Squad. You're at 204 million right now, so you're about 50 million behind JP. So I think we're all probably expecting somewhere between 40 million this weekend for Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I think the projections now are like 30. That's what they're saying as of today. But yeah. Between 20 and 40, I think, is my guess.
Yeah, exactly. And you had a good opening weekend for Space Jam. Not a great second weekend, but that's to be expected with basically anything that's on HBO Max. And yeah, so right now, I mean, first to fourth place, there's only a $71 million. So all fairly close.
Yeah.
So we'll see how things go over the next month, or 2 months. Since Shang-Chi opens the beginning of September. Anything else to know about box office, guys?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Alrighty.
Closer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, the fact that like COVID's affected this much in the second half of the summer has made things way weirder than I think any of us were predicting.
I wasn't expecting this.
Because I'm like not very confident about like Shang-Chi anymore. Especially with that
I was
poster.
just thinking about that.
Yeah, that poster's
that goddamn poster with the car on it. Why?
Do you think
the poster?
That's one of the worst posters I've seen in a long time, just in general. It's a terrible poster.
We had our group chat and you guys were all talking about it. By the time I saw it was a couple hours later. So I'm like, I don't want to like fucking just bring it back up, but it is so stupid.
Oh, it's horrible, even for Marvel standards, because Marvel's made some shitty posters. They're all generic as hell, but this one was just really bad. Really bad.
The internet's been having fun.
I love the comment that was like, I can't wait to see the character development of that BMW SUV.
Yeah.
Whatever it was.
Yeah. I was saying something like,
why is there this car here?
I was saying something like, I hope it's comic accurate. You know, I really, really hope that they stay true to the comics with BMW SUV. Fucking. And then they put Abomination down in the bottom left corner. It's a blurry ass picture of him.
I barely noticed him in the trailer either.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's just bad.
They should fire whoever worked on that. I'll come. They
really,
for you.
Hire a new graphic designer because my god. All right, so that's the box office. With release dates, we just got one thing to mention. It's a movie that I doubt anyone that's listening to this is excited for. It's
so pumped.
Yeah, sure you are. It's Clifford the Big Red Dog. Supposedly, it's getting a lot of buzz. It's a very buzzy movie. It was supposed to play.
All those 6 to 7-year-olds are talking, and they're
on the internet.
They're decidedly
typing away about
Clifford the Big Red
Dog. They are for Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Movie
but supposedly it was supposed to play at like the Toronto Film Festival or something like that, and now it's been because of this delay.
I heard it was a favorite for the Palme d'Or too, right? Yeah.
Yeah. They're saving it next year for Cannes.
Yeah.
Going all the way for the fucking gold. But it was supposed to open in September, and now with the whole Delta variant, they've seen how the kids' movies have done over the past couple months, and they're like, "No, we've got this big hit on our hands with a clip, so we have to delay this." It probably will just end up getting sold. I mean, I don't know. Have any of you seen pictures on this movie?
No.
It looks just as stupid as you
I've
could
seen the
possibly
trailer.
imagine.
Is it live action with a
Yes.
CGI dog?
Oh yes, it is.
I watched the trailer myself.
Who's in it?
too.
I don't know. I don't even know. I
Oh,
didn't
Jack
know
Whitehall's in it. We
Yeah.
were just talking about him because he was in
There was I
fucking.
didn't even know there was a trailer.
in,
He was in Jungle Cruise, right?
Jungle
Yeah.
Cruise, yeah. This looks terrible. David
The
Allen
Clifford
Greer is.
coloring is kind of weird.
Why is David Allen Greer Clifford?
He is.
Does Clifford
he-
scream all the time?
Yeah, he
Oh,
voiced
good,
his
good
Clifford.
for
I
David
think.
Allen Greer.
I mean,
I'm
good
happy
for him,
him.
but like when I picture Clifford talking, I don't picture David Allen Greer.
You know what they need to do with these new Jumanji movies? Bring back David Allen Greer's character.
Yes,
He was
Oh,
like
yeah.
He
was
fits
like
perfect in that kind of
the moral
situation.
compass of that fucking series.
Yeah,
Alan, Great. fucking great.
yeah.
But yeah, hopefully this isn't the beginning of another domino type situation. I mean, my gut feeling says probably not. The only one I'm worried about is just because we've talked about this. The success of this movie is dependent on an entire studio, like living or dying.
Mhm.
So for that reason, they might want to move to like spring. And at this point, Daniel Craig's gonna be fucking 70 years old before this movie comes out. I hope he's as old as Harrison. Indiana Jones 5 comes out.
He'll be Sean
Yeah.
Connery levels of
Yeah.
James Bond.
Exactly. I mean, the good thing for him is he filmed it like 5 years ago, so it won't look as bad. But it's gonna be. I'm nervous. Is all I'll
Yeah,
say.
I have a gut feeling that this movie is gonna get they're gonna get scared, and then they're gonna end up delaying it again.
I mean, at least Daniel
got a
Craig's
feeling.
still my Bond if he gets delayed.
yeah.
Corey yourself is like, I'll never get cast. This motherfucker does a job.
Well, yeah,
if
I
this
wouldn't be
movie
worried
never
about
comes
Daniel
out.
Craig getting older. I'd be worried about like Idris Elba or whoever they
Yeah.
potentially have panned for the next Bond getting too old and
Yeah.
getting bored of it and thinking about it.
Tom
Well,
Hiddleston's like, I guess I'll just be Loki for the rest of my life.
Well, Murph, you made a good point the other day where you said, you might as well just give Idris Elba like a 1 or 2 movie deal, like just have him just play him and
Yeah,
play him
just
for
give
like
him,
2 films.
he's older, but like he still looks fair. Like he doesn't look any older than Daniel Craig looks. Like
Yeah.
give him 2 quick movies, like a Timothy Dalton run, and move on to the next one after that. I mean, I think he'd be a good Bond. So
Yeah. You never know.
Well,
It might come
we'll
out.
see.
It might come out before No Time to Die. At this point.
Yeah, right. But yeah, we did get a few trailers for movies that are technically supposed to come out in the fall. We'll find out soon enough. We've had first looks at all of them already, but these are the real meat and potato trailers that we've gotten. I use that term very loosely with the Venom trailer.
Oh my
because
god.
It was kind of more of the same.
There was no
Well-
substance to that trailer at all.
Yeah.
all we know is they're just throwing it out there that this is all. There is nothing that this movie has to offer. Hardy on Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson, I guess, being a psychotic bad guy, with
He
a
looks
few different hairstyles.
He's had 3 so far in his scant appearances in the Sony Venom
Sonyverse?
universe, I guess. 3.
What-
3.
What is the name? Sony's. It's way worse than that. It's
Is
like
it? They have a
so-
name for it?
yeah, they have a name for it. I think it's like
The Sony extended shithole.
it's like 7 words. It's really long.
The
The symbiote verse?
No, it's
the
like
Sony garbage can of superhero franchises that we own. The cutting
well,
room floor.
It's pretty close to that.
While Murph's looking
Um,
that up, did you guys? I know Doug said that he didn't think the special effects were horrendous,
No, I
but
didn't
did you
think they were
guys?
bad at all.
Oh my god, I thought that they looked awful. I watched it
They-
again too.
You think the graphics for the Sony Pictures universe
Dude,
of Marvel
characters.
aren't up?
Wait a minute. The Sony Pictures universe of Marvel,
Characters.
Marvel characters.
Don't leave the characters off, otherwise
It's
it's wrong.
That
It's
is
the SPUMC.
That
The spunk?
rolls off the tongue.
yeah.
Oh, the
that is-
spunk. Ugh.
That is
You're not-
terrible.
You're not down with the spunk?
Oh Lord.
oh
Oh, that's not good.
man,
That's
that
not
is
good.
awful. I
Yeah,
did
it
not
was-
know that.
That's what they got. This is, I guess, the third entry, or not? Is this one the second? Yeah, it's the second because Morbius got pushed.
Yeah.
Unless
forgot
no,
about that.
is Spider-Verse count? Are they spunk material?
Yes, Spider-Verse is spunk material. If you look it up on Google, Spider-Verse is underneath the spunk.
Really?
Yes.
All right. So spunk is it's hit or miss so far.
It generates money, but
It does generates a lot of money.
We got Venom, Carnage, Spider-Man, fucking whatever it is. Are they doing? They're doing Spider-Gwen.
Are they?
I don't know. This
Like
is
a
just,
live
like,
action
the
or
first thing
animated?
that comes up.
I thought
Fucking
that they were in
Morbius.
development, but yeah, Morbius.
Then Kraven the Hunter.
Oh yeah, didn't they just announce Spider-Woman? Didn't we talk on that? Oh no, that was for Spider-Verse 2.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah.
there's a Spider-Gwen like logo and everything for it, but I mean, they also have a Sinister Six one, so I don't think that's going to be a thing either.
They're still trying to make that.
Yeah,
Their goal is to just do what they want
One of these days.
after Amazing Spider-Man 2.
seriously.
They're just going on the longest fucking backroads way of figuring it out.
Fuck you, Spunk.
Yeah, this I don't know.
Yeah,
this
fuck
trailer,
that. Venom 2.
it's
Is
more
there-
of the same, like you said. I mean, there was no surprise. Woody Harrelson looks. I think he looks good as Cletus Cassidy.
Fucker
But
bites people.
yeah,
There's
I mean,
JP made a good point though in our chain about how there's nothing as bad as turd in the wind.
Oh god, the worst joke that's ever
yeah, that was
existed.
yeah.
These ones look
That-
less badly written, but so fucking annoying.
That was like the highlight of bad lines in any like trailer.
Oh, it didn't make any sense.
They're just embracing the early 2000s action movie aesthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like Woody, so like I'll probably see this one. I mean, I'm gonna see it, but I think I might
Yeah.
actually see this one in theaters just for Woody.
I have a
but-
feeling that, I mean, the script is probably gonna be garbage, but I have a feeling that like the
What script? It doesn't
Well,
seem like
yeah.
a script. It seems like jokes written down on a napkin.
Woody's
Yeah,
good, and Tom Hardy's a good actor too. I just think that they'll be good together to an extent. How they'll
I think Andy
be entertaining.
I think Tom Hardy has like a story by credit, or like he's like
Yeah, he
the
does.
co-writer of this one.
Yeah, he definitely does. I remember reading that too, which I thought was weird.
What
He's
has
like
he
super.
written?
He's like super into the Venomverse or whatever the fucking Sony movie
Spunk.
pictures of characters spunk verse.
Spunk.
But yeah,
He's
as you can
credited.
tell, we don't have the highest of expectations for. So let's move on to one that we are Well, are we amped? Let's talk about it. Ghostbusters Afterlife.
No.
We've got two
Cautious.
trailers. We're not amped.
I'm
We're not amped. We amped? We're not amped?
Cautiously amped.
So
Cautiously
underamped right now.
excited, I guess.
I
It
can't
looks
even
good.
speak.
It looks good. It just doesn't it doesn't look like a Ghostbusters movie.
It does not look like
No.
it.
It
Yeah,
looks-
absolutely.
which is for me is fine, but I keep thinking about these experiments, like the last experiment that we got, even though it's completely different.
It's Ghostbusters, but what if they were women? All right, that bombed. All right, it's Ghostbusters, but what if they're Stranger Things?
Yeah.
And then we add in all the old effects in it, but it's still Stranger Things Ghostbusters, but it's kids. They're gonna
I'm
wear
fine-
proton packs. It's gonna be hilarious.
I'm fine with them doing that, with changing up the formula,
Fuck
as
that.
long as they don't, because I don't want the same exact movie. But if it's a good balance of the old and the
Yeah, I
new,
mean, it's
guess,
definitely not
then
going to be a Force Awakens situation because
No,
it is not the same exact movie.
It's
It
like
is
more
a
of a
fucking Amblin
PT.
Spielberg 80s movie.
yeah.
But
as
the
we've all
plot
mentioned.
seems eerily the same. You have the devil dogs, you have Evo Shandor, you have all the wispy ghost things coming out of the mine, You have the ghosts
True.
that show up in town. They even have the goddamn ghost taxi driver, but now he's ghost coffee guy.
And you have Stay Puft, which doesn't
And
make
you
sense.
have Stay Puft.
Because it was
and
Ray's vision.
It seems like Paul Rudd might be the Rick Moranis character that gets run down by the devil dog, and maybe he becomes a Keymaster.
It's just strange because, like, if you got fucking Ivan Reitman's son directing it, like, he was on the set when this movie was made. I think he would know Ghostbusters, and, like, they would just do the Ghostbusters that we're all expecting, which is take a bunch of Saturday Night Live characters, fucking make an adult comedy that is around, like, and ghosts are involved in the workplace. Like, and they're just going in a completely different direction.
It seems like he's
Weird.
living out his little fantasies of wanting to be a Ghostbuster as a child. Even though it makes literally no fucking sense that a child would be a Ghostbuster.
It's like the Ghostbusters that he played with toys when he was a kid.
And if you look at the toys, it's all the kids in Ghostbusters jumpsuits with fucking proton packs on.
But Ghostbusters did appeal a lot to kids.
Yeah.
Like, it was an adult comedy, but it played really well to kids.
Sure, but I never thought I'd be like a
so
fucking ghost exterminator. Like, the adults do that.
I mean, good movies appeal to kids.
Yeah. Funny
Like,
ones.
it doesn't matter if they're, like, targeted to them or not. Like, if it's a good movie, kids are going to be into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they fucking made R-rated toys for kids throughout the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. But this feels like the movie they would have made if they had known that Ghostbusters would have sold as well as it did among kids in the 80s.
I guess.
To me, because to me it feels like, and I said this when we talked about it a little bit, but it feels like an Amblin movie. To me, it has that vibe, and the way it's gonna just like put the fucking hook out, or the bait out for the rest of us, is it's like, here's all this little nostalgia that you remember from the other Ghostbusters.
Remember Ghostbusters?
Let's see if I can catch some 80s, 90s fans of the original Ghostbusters by throwing enough of the nostalgia bait out there. And to be honest, like, I felt like it kind of worked for me because I'm intrigued.
Dude,
way more intrigued than I was in the other Ghostbusters.
They got me with that first fucking trailer. It was so perfect. It was so perfect.
Yeah.
You had all the noises. You had the reveal that the Ecto-1 is still somewhere. Where is it? Who knows? And then it just feels like fucking E.T. mixed with Stranger Things. Which, who the fuck wants to see that anymore?
Yeah, I'm perfectly happy just getting Stranger Things season 4 and giving like a normal Ghostbusters movie. I'm excited to see Bill Murray and the gang return. I'm very excited for that.
I like the little Ray nod at the end of the trailer. That was nice.
Which one?
The nod for Ray picking up the phone at the end of the trailer.
Yeah,
that was great. And
yeah,
then Andy Potts
I wanted to hear Bill Murray though.
I like Andy Potts showing up.
To me, though, like, Aykroyd shows up in everything. Kind of like, give me one of the other. Give me Bill Murray. Like, prove to me that Bill Murray's in this movie.
Did Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd have any like writing credits at all for this script? Like, were they involved in any way with that? No. Okay.
And Corey, what did you said to me last week? Like, if this movie didn't do well, like, are they going to do another Ghostbusters? And I was like, they will fucking milk this until they get it right.
Yeah.
If this one doesn't work, we're gonna get a fucking straight, like, very similar type of Ghostbusters movie to the first one.
I don't know.
But at that point, I don't think you're gonna get any of the characters to return because they've already returned twice at this point in 2 different franchises. One in different roles and one in, like, as their original roles.
I think if this one does shit, I don't think I don't think they touch it ever again. Just because, like,
really,
how annoyed everyone seems to be at the manufactured insanity of the fan base, where it's just like, Ghostbusters fans are the worst fans in the world. They're attacking this perfectly legitimate Oscar-worthy movie back in 2016. And then, like,
there are always Star Wars fans to complain about. So
I just
way worse than Ghostbusters.
I just think everyone's fucking sick of Ghostbusters at this point.
Yeah,
and I just, I feel like this is
Sony
one that
just-
they'll probably just let die if this.
Sony just doesn't have a lot of franchise.
Thanks.
That's why I think they'll like
It's true.
keep on fighting. And like, look at how many Terminators we've gotten that have been unsuccessful.
It's true.
Since T2, since the massive success of T2, we've gotten, I think, 4 different Terminator movies and a TV show, and none of them were.
Oh,
maybe
God, I forgot about
maybe
the
you could
TV
say
show.
T3 was, because it did do pretty well, but
Commercially,
Genesis, Salvation, Dark Fate, and a TV show.
Even though Dark Fate was pretty good, but it did terribly in the box
It
office.
doesn't matter if you follow up 3 stinkers. Like,
Yeah.
people eventually lose hope. Like, kind of like JP saying, like, if people aren't gonna give a shit anymore.
No.
Yeah.
So,
I already don't give a shit. Took me 2 trailers now to give a shit. I fucking love that goddamn show or that movie.
hopefully it can redeem itself when it comes out in November. But yes, it does look like your worst fear.
Yeah, it's fucking childish.
which I was hoping was incorrect after the first trailer. All right, lastly we got Dune coming out in October, HBO Max in theaters. We got like a very long trailer for it, like 3 minutes. Excuse me, where it sets up all the characters and basically what the story's about, whole hero's journey thing. I guess it's like a chosen one type story with Timothy Chalamet as the chosen one, and being helping the outsiders, with Zendaya being the prominent role of like the outsider. So it's kind of got a lot of movies have done it since. But what were your thoughts? Like, you Amphorus, it looks very fucking pretty. I think that was the first thing I took on from this trailer.
I mean, I'm excited for it. Just based on, I mean, I read the book a long time ago. I don't really remember that much of it, but I like the original film. So it's a cool premise. I think people that like sci-fi will like it. The director definitely, has shown that he can do these types of movies. So I imagine it's going to be an epic. And like you said, it's very pretty. I didn't realize that it was part 1 though. I remember, Murph, you told that to me.
It's only half of the first book,
which I'm very happy about because it's dense. It's like it's a.
You may not be happy if part 2 doesn't come out, because they didn't film it, so this has to be successful.
Yeah, I guess.
And I feel like it's going to have to make a lot of money.
Yeah,
because it looks expensive.
Yeah, definitely. I like the trailer. I'm definitely on board. I think it looks really cool.
Yeah, I mean, the cast is dope. It's got a lot of people, so it looks epic. It took me a couple, like maybe the second time I watched the trailer, for me to really like understand what exactly the story is.
Yeah, the mythology is it's confusing. It's like Game of Thrones type of like dense and confusing.
They got the spice, man.
Yeah, it's all about the spice.
Which I don't know. I'm interested to see how they're going.
Jason Momoa is the comic relief. That's what I got.
Gotta do the drugs and fly the spaceships, man. That's what it's all about.
I'm interested to see how they're gonna attract like just casual sci-fi moviegoers, and not obviously like the fans of Dune and fans of sci-fi are gonna go and see it or watch it on HBO Max. But I don't know how this is gonna fare with like your casual moviegoer. This is gonna be like, what the fuck am I watching type of, because the book is like that. It's just like a mind fuck.
See, I disagree with you. I think this looks generic as fuck. Like, let me preface this by, I really like movie trailers. This looks generic as shit. It looks like a beautiful action movie that has sci-fi elements. It doesn't look like a science fiction movie, other than the fact that it's in space and people's eyes glow blue for seemingly no reason. I look at it in a way like, I've brought this up to my dad, who is a fucking Dune fanatic.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna ask you that.
Showed him that, and he thinks it looks like shit, and it just doesn't look like Dune to him. I don't know.
My understanding is so many movies have copied Dune over the years, where at this point this looks generic when it should, when it's the original.
Sure.
Yeah.
But to me,
Totally.
it doesn't feel like a hard science fiction movie. It doesn't look
Yeah.
like a hard science fiction movie. It doesn't look like something you're going to have trouble getting the average person butts in the seats to watch space action with
doesn't
Jason
even look as-
Momoa and shit like that.
It doesn't even look as hard sci-fi as fucking John Carter.
It doesn't.
Like, and that's probably the one I would like from the trailer that looked as most similar to a space western in a fucking desert planet.
It looks. I don't know. It just looks like.
I don't think we're gonna get a second one just because I don't think it's gonna be that successful.
I don't think it's going to
like,
do very well.
It's competing with a lot of movies targeted to adults that month. We got
Mhm.
Saints and we've got No Time to Die, Halloween Kills, Last Night in Soho. Like, that's a lot of movies directly competing with it, and it's on
And in
HBO
this-
Max.
And in this, this, time with movies not making as much money. I mean, I would imagine this movie would probably have to make like 400 or 500 million.
Probably
right?
more. I would guess
For it
600
to
million
be-
minimum. It looks like a $200 million movie.
Yeah.
I think they still have tempered expectations for what it would make, but I don't think it'll even.
Yes, that's
tempered
true.
expectations.
They're not going to say it needs to break even, because the world's weird right now. Who knows? Maybe Timothy Chalamet will sue.
He's a baby. He can't.
Well, that's another thing. I mean, we keep saying, like, is this movie really coming out on HBO Max? Like, are they going to pull the rug out under this movie, at any point? And it's crazy that they haven't done it yet.
Doesn't seem like it.
It
Yeah.
seems like
Full speed
the
ahead.
only one that might not will be Matrix. I mean, who knows when the fuck that trailer is coming out?
Yeah, that's true.
I thought it was going to come out with the Suicide Squad, just like we thought potentially a new Batman trailer would come out. I mean,
And
maybe
Spider-Man.
a new Batman trailer will
There
come
might
out.
be.
but-
It looks
Still
like
haven't gotten
there's probably
Spider-Man.
going to be one. Yeah, I was going to say, what's going to come out first, Matrix or Spider-Man? Fucking trailer. They've missed
Might be.
every single opportunity to release that Spider-Man
Maybe
trailer.
I can't imagine they'd wait till Venom.
Is it because of
Um,
Venom that they've been holding back on it?
It was
'Cause Venom
Spider-Man
comes out
Day the
sooner?
other day.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a great day to release a Spider-Man trailer then on his day.
I don't know what it is. I guess because
This
I
movie's
imagine
fake.
originally it was because of the spoilers of the multiverse, but that's past now.
No,
Like, that's out in the open.
This movie doesn't
so
exist. They haven't filmed anything.
They just don't show a trailer. Like, he's like,
Every
we're not going to
set
show a
photo
trailer
you've
at all.
seen is fucking fake. It's all propaganda. This movie doesn't exist.
We're getting Morbius in December.
Yeah. Surprised we didn't film anything. Here's Jared Leto.
I know this will make you guys all very happy. To
Michael
see
Keaton,
it
Michael
in
Keaton's in it.
November.
It's kind of Spider-Man. It's all good. guys. Except for we've removed the Michael Keaton scene
God.
because you've already seen it.
we showed you that 3 years ago.
Yeah, we thought you forgot about it. We just, whatever. Go fuck yourselves. No Spider-Man.
Doug,
But
you
yeah.
liked the trailer, right?
Yeah, I thought it looked fun. To me, like an epic. One, I love the director Villeneuve. Like, just crushes it, especially cinematography wise. Just gonna be a pretty movie. Like, we know, like, the trailer looks pretty. We know it's gonna be a pretty movie. That you attach this director to the movie, you can just
IMAX.
check that box. It just looked like a really pretty movie. Story wise, I have no fucking idea what it's about. I looked forward to sitting down in a movie theater seat and just seeing pretty pictures across the screen. It's kind of what I got from the trailer. It looked epic. Looked like a lot of money went into it. And so that's what I liked about the trailer. Story-wise, I'm not familiar with the Dune story. I'm not sure that I learned anything from the trailer, which is fine.
It doesn't say much.
It sucked to get half a movie, so that would be the only thing that would suck about it. Is I kind of wish they just went all in and filmed both halves, so that I knew I was gonna see
Yeah, Lord of the
the
Rings
story
style.
through. Yeah,
Yeah, that was an interesting decision. I mean, you would think that they would at least complete the story. They would film part 1 and part 2, but again, it would be an unbelievably expensive investment, whatever.
Costs less than doing both of them separate.
Yeah,
right.
it's just it's a weird Like, if you're gonna do the Dune story, why just do half of it? That's why I immediately thought it was the whole book.
Because there's
Yeah.
a lot of it, though. There's a big fucking
There is a lot
book.
of it. Yeah, it's a huge book.
I'm glad they didn't like try and shove it all into one movie, but like I said,
Yeah.
it just doesn't look,
I wouldn't have wanted that.
doesn't look like it's gonna be super rich on lore or anything like that. So I don't know why they did that, but
We shall see.
We'll see for ourselves in October. But until then, let's talk on things we actually have watched. We got a couple TV shows, a few movies. Let's touch base on these shows first. The last year, we kind of went episode by episode of Rick and Morty, but we haven't done that this year. With season 5, they've aired 6 episodes, I believe, so far. We don't need to go episode by episode. But what have your overall thoughts been, guys? I know, Doug, I imagine you've seen all of it. JP, I know you at least seen a couple.
Seen 2 episodes, I think.
I've seen the 6 so far. I'm gonna throw this out there. I think Rick and Morty has hit its peak already, and we're just along for the ride at this point.
Yep. Yeah,
That's fair.
been fairly.
I'd agree with that.
I think it might be a little more consistent than last year with everything so far, and I like
Last
that
year
all
was
the
such a
episodes-
rough season, though.
Yeah,
But
and like
last year was so
Complete your
rough
thought.
that last year I would agree when thinking about this season. This is nowhere near Rick and Morty at its peak, or it's even on either side of the peak. So when it was coming up to the peak, and even part of it's the decline after it hit its peak. But last season was just like really rough for me. That this is better, but yeah, it's starting to feel like we're like Family Guy and Simpsons. You
Oh,
just kind of
no,
when they
really?
start hitting like more of the where they're just hitting a lot of episodes.
It's like derivative of
just-
itself at this point.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like
God.
not as clever as it used to be, and they kind of just go for like big in a lot of these episodes and crazy and wacky, but it's not as funny as it used to be. Like I don't find myself laughing out loud as much as I laughed out loud with Rick and Morty at its peak. Like for like last episode, I enjoyed it. Actually, and I was like, oh, that's clever, haha. Like, you mix up these 2 genres that I wouldn't ever think that anyone would mix up. But it still wasn't. I find myself laughing a lot out loud about it. So it's less funny to me than it used to be, which is unfortunate.
You know which one did it for me? I've actually seen 3 of these so far. The fucking one with the decoy families.
I didn't like that one.
Yeah, I was just sitting and watching them. Like they're just so far up their own ass right now that
Yep.
that was like to me signaling that this season's just gonna be like we're gonna do this. This is gonna be the fucking season. Great. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
they're trying to be like show how smart they are,
Yeah,
and it's like
it's
not
just-
even funny.
No, it wasn't funny, like in the least bit. I think maybe the first 1 or 2 times they did it in the beginning episode, I was like, oh, that's cool. And then you notice and you're like, it's just not gonna stop. This is the whole fucking episode.
Did you see the end though? Because that was my favorite part of that episode.
Probably, I guess.
The wooden Jerry that like keeps
Yeah.
on living, and they put like the Highlander song in the
Yeah, when it
background.
just exists forever. Yeah, I think I like the wooden
Yeah.
people better when they like they're going after the
Yeah,
varnish.
to me that was like the best part, and it was just like a throwaway like after the
Yeah.
scene.
The episode before that, I think, had the end credit was the funniest part. It was the one where they were on the 3 different They went to the 3 different planets that were going to explode. And then the after credit scene is like the father and the son that like banged each other before, and they just have to go into work the next day and pretend like nothing happened. I thought that was funnier than the whole episode. And
Yeah.
like, it's not good when that like your funniest parts are just the tags at the end.
Yeah. I like the Poseidon character. I thought that was pretty fucking funny. He was.
I thought, yeah. To me, that was my favorite episode of the season thus far.
Yeah, I think
Was
so too.
The with the
What's his
the
name?
Aquaman or whatever the hell that character was. And I like the whole plot line
fucking
where
Nimbus.
Yeah, Mr. Nimbus. He's Mr. Nimbus. He controls the police.
That was probably the funniest episode of the season.
Yeah.
it was. Even the other storyline I thought was funny.
That kind of annoyed
Yeah.
the shit out of me after like the first
Really?
3 times he went in, just because it was like another one of those things where just over and over and over. But I like that, you know, he meets the one guy, and then as soon as he pulled him out, we're like, oh, fuck, his whole family's dead. Goes back, sure enough, and then they hate him for a while. And then I just got incredibly bored of that. But it was funny. It was a funny idea.
And
Dia
then
played out before, but-
Summer's annoying now. She seems out of character.
Yep.
Like I can't stand her. And are they filming these? Are they or not filming? Are they making these similar to South Park now? Because it seemed like the last episode prior, and like the reactions from fans.
I don't.
Doug,
I
you would have
don't
been the
know.
only. You would have been the only person who would have seen this. It was about the incest baby.
What about it? The fact that in the last episode
Like,
you're talking about?
In the last episode, the incest baby returned, and there was a lot of commentary on. Are you gonna keep talking about the incest baby? Like, we'll never live this down. It just seemed like a commentary on people's reactions to episode 4. But maybe they just knew when they wrote episode 4 that it was gonna. People were gonna be like, "The fuck are you thinking?" And they wrote that into episode 6.
Yeah, I mean, this last episode it seemed like it tied a lot of threads from like prior episodes together. I mean, we talked about Boob World, which I think was a couple of seasons ago. They had talked about Boob World, and so it seemed like this last episode was trying to pull in plot threads. I mean, they talked about Beth's clone. They talked about incest baby. It seemed like they were kind of just pulling in a lot of different things. To be like, look, see,
so
it's
maybe
all like,
it had nothing to do with what I'm thinking.
yeah, I think they're doing these episodes too far in advance to react to what's going on in like the main,
Like the commentary of the
main-
episodes.
Yeah, I think they're churning these things out. I think they're probably pretty far. I think they're just I think that's part of the problem. I mean, they're trying to turn out like, what are we talking about? Whatever they signed.
They got their 70
Is
episode
it 80
deal.
episodes or 70
Wow.
episodes?
70
So
episodes.
they're just churning out episodes at this point, and it's not like we're gonna do 10 episodes at a time. They're thinking we've got to do 70 episodes, and you just can kind of feel it.
Yeah.
Quality.
Yeah, it's disappointing,
sucks.
but what are you gonna do? Let's go on to a show that's on its 2nd season. It's still peaking. Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
JP and Doug, both of you have watched the first 2 episodes so far?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. Early reactions in comparison to season 1. You think it's still at that same level? Any particular storylines you're so far?
I don't know if it's quite the same level. The whole Jamie Tart stuff that they brought back in the 2nd episode, I'm pretty thrilled about. I thought the 1st episode was pretty great for jokes. I thought that was a lot funnier than the 2nd one. They brought in that goddamn therapist, and I feel like she ruins the whole episode because she's just like a fucking
Such a downer.
Like, get this out of my Ted Lasso. I'm here to have my heart warmed, and I don't want some shitty character that hates everything and is going to try and change Ted Lasso because she sees a problem with Ted Lasso being so nice.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Don't like it.
And my expectations is, but like, he's gonna turn her by the end of the season.
I hope so.
She'll be won over just like everyone else because he's just the best person in the world.
Maybe she'll turn Ted Lasso.
No, see, I don't
I
want that. That's
I don't like
no.
that.
That's awful. Like he doesn't need to
That
be sexy.
wouldn't
He's great.
happen, yeah.
The
He
stuff with
can't.
no, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say he can't turn. He's too good.
No, he's too good. He's too good. The stuff with Roy Kent's been fantastic, though. I like his
Yeah.
storyline. It's been really
The
funny.
Roy Kent stuff was kind of ridiculous.
I would love to watch Roy Kent do commentary for
Oh,
sports on like
hell yeah.
ESPN.
100%.
He's easily one of the funniest characters on the show.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. All the characters are there. I don't know. I like the stuff with the dog. I thought that was hilarious. Completely outlandish and made no sense. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think we watched them today to watch the first two, and we were kind of bummed there wasn't a third episode to watch. So that's good.
Yeah,
at
they're
least.
in another 36 hours. That will be.
But yeah, I think all the characters are still good except for the damn therapist that needs to go away. I don't know what Nate's problem is.
Yeah, Nate's being a dick.
And Nate's being too big of a dick. Got to calm down.
Yeah, they had to have that happen just for the character.
I think it's
But
funny.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it's too much.
I'm waiting for someone to be like, "Hey, man, like, you didn't like when people were a dick to you. Stop being a dick to this person."
Yeah. And then the end of episode 2 just injects this drama that I don't want in there because you got Sam. Sam's awesome. Love Sam. And he doesn't want Jamie Tart back, and now he feels betrayed. I don't.
Yeah,
want
it felt like the
drama.
first 2 episodes were like setting up for episode 3,
Yeah.
and like the rest of the season. Now that Jamie's back,
Yeah.
which I'm very glad he's back because he brings a lot of drama, but not like fucking too much drama.
Yeah.
Just the perfect amount for the show. And now we got Roy set up for being back in the soccer world, even though just watching him coach his niece and shit was
so good.
that was good enough.
Girls soccer team.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Really, really wonderful. Yeah, it looks like it's shaping up to be all right. So far, trending probably not be as good as season 1, but still good. I still want to watch it. I still want to stay with it.
Cool. Well, we'll unless you got anything to add, Doug, we will touch base probably in like the middle of the season. See if it's trending upward or downward or the same with where we're at now.
Yeah. No, I'm enjoying it so far. I was surprised at how quickly they brought Jamie Tart back.
It's
But
a little quick.
yeah, it felt like I thought it was gonna be like mid-season by the time Jamie got back, and nope, he's back. So I guess the plan is like I think Murphy were saying like probably Jamie's gonna cause drama, and let's see how that plays out for the remainder of the season.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
He's gonna make them start to win too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're definitely going to win with him on there. I think people will grow as characters. I think with Jamie.
Exactly. I think Jamie's going to grow. I mean, he started growing. The fact that he went to the reality show, based on what Ted had said to him at the end of last season, he still had the fucking army guy, Ted Danson. That was cool. So like his character has been growing since like the end of last season, him leaving the team. So I don't think he's going to be quite the problem he was during season 1, but obviously there's going to be hiccups and stuff when a star player comes to an organization that is set in their new ways at this point.
Yeah. Hey, maybe the awful fun-sucking psychiatrist or psychologist can help out Jamie Tart too.
Exactly. Anything's possible.
The worst.
On the movie front, we've got Old. Corey saw a test screening of this one months ago. We can say it now, or say it, not edit it out.
Don't say it.
Yeah,
I don't have to edit it out anymore.
There's no reason to edit it. And I saw it this past week. I doubt there were many differences from what you saw. I don't want to spoil the ending or anything like that. I will just say the ending was the part I had the most problem with. No shocker. with M. Night
I agree.
Shyamalan movies. He either fucking nails the ending or doesn't. Most of the time he doesn't. But everything leading up to it was a lot of fun. Gorgeously shot. It looked intentionally campy for the most part. Like the dialogue, everything. Like he just seems like he's in command of what he knows he does good and what he wants to do. It's just with the final fucking acts, like I don't know. It's reminded me too much of the final act and I thought it was better than the ending of Glass, but more of the same, which I wasn't exactly thrilled with.
Yeah, it definitely had some similarities. As a whole, yeah, I need to see it again. I'm probably gonna go and see it over the next week or so. But I did think that it was a really fun ride. Like you said, like you could tell like it was purposely campy. Like he had fun writing this script and probably had a lot of fun directing it, and the actors I thought were really good. I might have mentioned this to you guys, or at least to Murph. The mother and the father I especially liked a lot. That in the movie. I thought they were the French actors, I think. And I've never seen them in anything before. And I was looking at like a bunch of movies to watch with them, and because I really enjoyed their performances. So I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, and he just looked like it's a demented movie. It's really
Very.
fucking weird. It's pretty gruesome for. But yeah, he just looked like he was having fun making this one, and everyone just came to the absurdity of the entire thing.
Yeah.
Like you're having characters age a year every 30 minutes in this movie, and like these kids, though, suddenly they go from being like 8 years old to fucking looking like, and like the mom's like, oh, they must have had something bad.
Yeah.
It must be an infection. Like, what the fuck are you thinking?
So really, it's just a story about shitty parents, right?
I laughed so much through
Yeah.
the movie
Yeah.
at just the absurdity of the entire thing.
The
Like-
dialogue is gold.
Like
a
these
lot of times.
characters, there's two kids, and suddenly they go from being, I don't know, 8 and 6, playing and making sandcastles and shit, to looking like they're 20 and like 22, 20 years old. And then you're like, oh no, they're not gonna fuck it. And they have sex immediately because their brains are pretty too. Like everything is speeding up. So like, even though they're like dumb, like, so like in the trailer you see like this girl get pregnant, and I'm like, how the fuck did that happen? Oh, it was a natural pregnancy.
Oh.
And it is just like so fucking absurd. Like they come back for the, and because it takes fucking like 30 minutes for a year, she's coming back with like a full stomach already, and they're like,
Within like
we're
10 minutes.
having a baby, and it's
Yeah.
just the kid's like, I didn't know it could happen. It is funny and fucked up.
Yeah.
It was like a better version of what Shyamalan was trying to do with the where just ridiculousness, but it seemed like everyone was like in time versus Mark Wahlberg just being like,
Where are the
bees? We're the bees, like being all like serious with the performance and like not seeming like he's in on the movie and the absurdity of everything.
Yeah, the performances definitely they executed it in such a way where it wasn't like uncomfortably like cheesy. Like you had fun with it. Like it was a fun ride as a whole. I liked how it was shot too. Like those, as you started to see characters age and like age to the point where it was different actors. That was very cool the way he did that. Like the way that was shot and edited.
The kids in the movie are played by like 4 different actors like throughout, which is pretty neat. But all right, yeah. So it's a Shyamalan movie. I'd recommend. but just know it's going to be weird, goofy, and yeah, it's a Shyamalan movie. There's a twist.
What a twist!
But let's move on to Jungle Cruise. So JP, your number 2 pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
You gave it money.
Yeah.
Good for you. You were part of that 34 mil.
I gave it 2 monies. 'Cause I went with my wife.
Double
2
the fun.
whole monies.
Double monies.
We have not seen it yet. If I'm going to see it, I want to see it in theaters. Otherwise, I'm whenever. Is this worth seeing?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely worth seeing in theaters. Great performances all around. I think, honestly, The Rock does his thing. I think, for me, that the best performance was Jesse Plemons as
Yes.
Yeah, the mustache twirling Disney villain. So the one thing I have to say about this movie is everyone's hearkening it to, oh, it's the Mummy, it's Pirates of the Caribbean stapled together, all this. And there's definitely aspects of those movies in there, but I think what this movie did the best, and what it ends up honestly being, is a Disney animated fairy tale done in live action, and it's not a colossal piece of shit like all the Disney live action fairy tales that they've tried to do in live action, or Disney fairy tales that they've tried to do in live action. It feels like I'm sitting here watching it, and I can envision this being a Beauty and the Beast era cartoon.
Okay.
It's over the top. It's got CGI animal in it, but not in a shitty way. It's a fun movie. It's paced pretty well. There's a twist in it that I didn't see coming. And then you get your beats like your Mummy. So you have like Emily Blunt, who is a smart, capable-ish woman, and her brother that are on the search for something. They find their guide, and their guide's like a rugged type of deal. You got like the Pirates of the Caribbean monsters that exist in the mythos in the jungle. It was good. And then one other thing is, like, they're not capable characters. They're not all, it'd be really easy to make it like Emily Blunt is like a tough, hard ass like doctor that knows how to, but she's not. And like The Rock is not, like an invulnerable character. Her brother's not an invulnerable character. They all need each other, and they work really well together, and their dynamic is actually pretty wonderful. It's got Paul Giamatti in it, being a complete fucking ham, which is wonderful.
Perfect.
As hammy as Amazing Spider-Man 2?
As the Rhino?
Kinda, yeah. No, he's incredibly hammy.
It's impressive.
And because he does it in a way that honestly reminds you of a classic era Disney cartoon character.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, like a Lufo or one of those like Goofy or like Gaston.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Like you could see him drawn with the big belly out, and he's got like all the 100%. Like when you see this movie, think about it in that lens, and it makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. Which is actually funny because one of the previews to it was the horrible Cinderella live action thing they're doing, which looks like a steaming pile of shit.
I didn't watch the trailer.
Is that
I
Sony
saw that.
one?
The one that's on Amazon.
Camilla Cabello, that one?
Yep.
I don't think it is.
This is an Amazon. It's just called Cinderella. It's Amazon produced movie.
Corey, you're talking about the one I'm talking of. Which one are you talking about, JP?
Let's
Because I don't know why that would be in theaters. Like they would show that trailer in theaters.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
It must be something different.
I don't know what it is, honestly. Maybe it was Cinderella. I can't find it right now, but it looked fucking horrible.
Was it live action or
live action? Yeah. But that looked really fucking bad. Yeah, I thought it was a very enjoyable experience. It was great seeing it on the screen. It's a beautiful looking movie. It really looks like a cartoon in many ways.
sequel worthy?
What was that?
Does it set up for a sequel?
No, not really.
All right, that's good. But you can see a sequel.
Yeah, probably.
Looks like kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean 1.
I think Pirates of the Caribbean one set up way more for a sequel than this one does.
Okay.
So it's not the whole movie pandering towards let's make 5 of these. It's more like it's its own thing. And if they were to make another one, I could see it, but I wouldn't be like clamoring for it.
Got it.
My wife, who is not the biggest Rock fan, said that it was enjoyable despite the Rock being in
Yeah,
it.
she's got her hatred for the Rock.
Yeah, which is odd. I don't get it. But she liked it. She said it was a serviceable, enjoyable movie.
Better than Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, much better than Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy.
I still can't believe that's a movie that actually came out,
Yeah, I fucking looked.
and we saw it.
Yeah,
I remember 0 of that.
Oh, I don't
movie.
remember a thing from it.
I remember
Not
Wallace
one
Shawn
thing.
was a ghost butler.
I don't even remember
That was
that. I think I
delightful.
remember us bringing in deli food movie,
Probably.
but that might have even been another movie.
Corey, you were right. This is the Amazon Prime Cinderella horrible fucking garbage looking movie.
It looks so bad.
It's really fucking terrible looking.
Well, we won't be watching that one.
No.
Yeah, that was supposed to be in theaters this summer, and then Amazon took it.
That makes sense. Was it I assume it was a Disney joint, right?
No, it's strictly Sony,
It's
and then Sony offloaded it like they offloaded pretty much everything.
yeah, I mean it'd be actually even better if they just bought it and then deleted it and never put it
Yeah,
out.
'cause
Fucking
Disney
Pierce
did their
Brosnan's in it.
Disney did their live action Cinderella like 6 years ago, and that was actually a good one. With with Lily James from Baby Driver.
Mm.
Yep.
All right, well, you've sold me. Probably catch a matinee or something
It's a good looking movie.
over the weekend.
Don't go to
Um,
Cinemark thinking you're gonna get Pizza Hut either on the week, because
Close.
I found out that the motherfuckers only have Pizza Hut during the goddamn weekend, and they also don't like have any soda bottles anymore, and they don't allow you to get refills on popcorns or soda anymore because they claim it's COVID, but
That's bullshit.
it's a fucking
That
money
is
grubbing
such
horseshit thing.
Fucking bullshit.
The refrigerators, I shit you not, the only thing that was in them were little juice boxes of apple juice. Not water, not fucking Coke, not anything. Just fucking juice boxes.
So you can't get any soda?
You can get a fountain soda, and you can go
Oh,
to
okay.
like the fountains and
Right.
get that, but
No bottled.
I'm pretty sure they might have shot me if I tried to refill it. I accidentally put too much ice in it, so I had to suffer.
AMC, I was refilling like every time we've gone
Well,
to the movies.
2-3 weeks ago when I saw whatever the fuck I saw 2-3 weeks ago, it was fine. Everything was normal, but I don't know if it was within the last couple weeks that they completely turned everything upside down.
Mm.
I
No
don't
more
know how I feel about
popcorn
that.
refills.
Yeah, that I don't need, but
Fine.
soda, you would hope.
All right. Let's do one more movie, and then we'll get into our feature. So Corey and myself saw a sneak preview Suicide Squad last week. They're trying to drum up interest and stuff, get people tweeting about it on social media, so we could say whatever we want. We're not going to say any spoilers or anything. Doug, JP, do you have any particular questions for us that we will give you spoiler-free answers to? Anything like that? Or get our
Really,
reactions?
Is it good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
It's
good.
really all I care about at this point is if it's good or worth seeing. So
The one thing I will say, and I said this to Murph after the movie, it is one of probably now that I think about it, I've thought about it for a couple of days. It's probably the most James Gunn movie James Gunn has ever made, I would say, or very close to that. And it's just crazy, like a crazy fun, balls to the wall experience. You feel like you're drunk after the movie's over, like that type of experience. So, but
Alright.
very fun. Very
Yeah,
enjoyable.
That makes
Super-
sense.
super gory, but not like like maybe a little bit some gross gore, but mostly just a bloody mess. All the characters are fully fleshed out, like in the squad, so you're gonna like the characters. I ultimately like the Guardians movies more than this one, but this was one where in the week since I've saw it, I've liked it more, like thinking about it, and it really ended strongly with a good, really fucking good third act. I think that plot probably played the most into why I've like my thoughts on the movie have gone up as much as they have over the past week.
Yeah.
It's because he did a really good job with the crazy finale, which is probably like 35, 40 minutes, probably 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That third act, which is it's insanity. It's a comic. It is a comic book movie. He doesn't give a fuck what people think. He just lets what happens on the pages go on the screen and doesn't worry at all about what or anyone are gonna say. Like he made a comic book movie. He made it his truest comic book movie with this one, I would say.
Nice.
Yeah. One other thought is the improv and the dialogue was fantastic, and I'd be interested to see what you guys think. Like just with all the quips and one-liners and this and that. I thought that was done exceptionally well. So
Cool.
Yeah, and so it's out on HBO Max. I think even tomorrow night. Like you don't even like they typically do their midnight on HBO Max. I believe it's going to be out on 7 p.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Thursday the 5th of August. So I'll be gonna watch it again. I'll probably watch it again tomorrow night, and next week we could do our deep dive. But during the credits, just so you guys know, there are multiple credit scenes, so stick around till the very end. But during the credits, I went and looked at 4 of our draft with who's going to die and who's not. I didn't look at anyone, but it was really it was funny just and be like, ha ha ha. But yeah, we'll have a clear winner for who's going to pick our next movie. And for Movie Club, Liberty Film Club number 2, and we'll talk about that next week.
Nice.
Cool. Being that this is available on HBO Max, is this one that we should go to theaters and see, or is this one that
Yes.
we'd be okay watching it on HBO Max?
I think you should see it in theaters.
I think you're fine watching it at home.
Okay.
If there's
so
a
not
new trailer,
helpful at
if
all.
there's a new trailer,
There's
if
this-
there's a new trailer for the Batman, definitely go. But like,
yeah.
if I didn't have tickets last week to see it early, and I knew I could watch it the exact same time Thursday night, I'd be tempted to have just stayed at home and watched it, and I would have got the same experience out of it, especially with like your TV, your sound, and everything like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, nothing's ultimately better than a movie theater, but you have to consider all the variables in going to a movie theater right now, and it's always more of a pain in the ass to have to drive to a theater and do that whole process versus just turning on a TV and being able to watch a movie.
Yeah, I think because I kind of want to see The Green Knight in theaters this weekend, I might, for the sake of not wasting time going to the movies, probably watch this one on HBO Max. If that's the case.
Yeah.
Because it's not like I'm going to be able to watch The Green Knight in my house.
Mm-hmm.
But and I think The Green Knight looks like a more visually stunning movie. In like to see in a theater. I mean, this is it's a war movie, but not shot like a 1917, like where it needs to be.
Yeah, experience in
in
IMAX.
Exactly.
How's the soundtrack?
It's good.
'Cause it looks
There
underwhelming.
didn't stand out like the Guardians movies. They didn't
Okay.
go with as many obvious choices.
Bangers.
There were some songs that I knew, and I was like, "Oh, awesome." There were others that I'd never heard before.
Yeah.
There wasn't as many songs as either the Guardians movie. Doesn't play into like the soundtrack. It doesn't feel like a part of the movie the way. But I don't. You're not going to have a Cruella situation where they play a million songs and you're like, what the fuck? Like, why are you overcompensating? They play songs when they need to play songs, but for the most part, it's a visual movie, like a comic book, like I was saying earlier.
Okay, it's good. It's good that it's not just getting pigeonholed and having to have like ridiculous soundtracks to
Yeah.
to make
Yeah,
superhero
definitely not.
movies.
Exactly. Like I bought the soundtracks to Guardians 1 and 2, and I.
Fair enough.
But yeah, next week we'll talk all about it. I'm excited to hear your guys' thoughts and everything. And if there's a Batman trailer, we will absolutely.
Yeah.
We can only hope.
Let's move on to our feature presentation. We're drafting our DCEU Super in conjunction with the Suicide Squad coming out. Basically, any DCEU film, any character will be eligible to be drafted. We're going to pick 6 each, a la the Justice League. Just to be clear, DCEU is Man of Steel, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League, Birds of Prey, Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman 1984, Shazam, and Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice. I believe that is all of them. 10 movies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Correct. Wow, got it right. So yeah, the draft order. We got Corey at number 1, JP at number 2, myself at number 3, and Doug at number 4. We're doing the snake order, so Doug will have 2 in a row, and then I'll get back to Corey where he'll have 2 in a row. But anyone's eligible, whether it's a hero, a villain, fucking side character, doesn't matter as long as it's from those 10 movies. Nothing from the Suicide Squad or anything coming. Doug, you had mentioned something about Injustice or something. Why we would possibly have bad guys and good. How exactly was that work?
Yeah, I was trying to justify it. The Injustice story, Superman's turned bad, and so bad guys are teaming up with good guys. Good guys are separate factions based along these lines of Superman God and has God and evil, and how that plays in. And so it kind of reminded me of we're all kind of forming Justice League versus Justice League. So yeah, that's how I would describe it. We've all got our little Injustice League to take evil Superman down.
Here we go. Let's take him down. Even though Superman is eligible. But yeah,
He's eligible.
Yeah, but
there's a clone of him. He's
There's
bad.
yeah, like Superman 4 or Superman 3 with
That's not DCEU, Corey.
Yeah,
I
or
know,
like
but it
not a
still
garbage
existed.
version of that in Bizarro Superman.
there was a clone. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking stupidest
Bizarro.
thing in the world. It could have just been Bizarro Superman, but whatever.
Well, we're doing this.
Christopher Reeve.
We'll see who has the coolest Injustice League. Corey, you want to take it away? I'm very intrigued to see who the heck's number 1 in this.
I'm gonna go with Ben Affleck's Batman.
Shocker! Batman's number 1.
I
Miles writing
bad
because
flag.
I don't want to.
I was thinking about something else just to be cheeky, but I didn't do it.
You cheeky bastard.
So cheeky. I'm gonna go at number 2. I'm gonna go with Jason Momoa's Aquaman because I like mimosas and I like Aquaman.
It's gonna be let's see how quickly the entire Justice League is taken. I'm gonna go with Gal Gadot, however you pronounce her name. Wonder Woman.
Wonder
what it was.
Woman.
Douglas. You got 2 in a row.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take both Superman. So I'm gonna take Henry Cavill, Superman, and I'm
I
gonna
knew you were gonna
take.
take The Witcher.
Yeah, I gotta take The Witcher. By far the most jacked guy in the DC.
He's a big man.
Although you cannot discount my next pick and his muscle suit with Zachary Levi's Shazam.
Shazam.
All right, that was a surprise. Didn't see that. Probably should have since you're a big Shazam guy.
Shazam.
All right.
And he's potentially even stronger than Superman because of magic. Superman's one weakness.
Yeah, they got rid
So
of the
having
muscle
those two
suit.
together, makes them unstoppable.
Yeah, they got rid of his muscle suit for the next movie, unfortunately, and the hood.
That is unfortunate. That's Zachary Levi's biggest power. It's that muscle suit.
I loved it. It looked great.
All right, I'm gonna go right back to Justice League. I'm gonna go with the Flash based on Justice League and Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Okay.
So now I don't know what to do, and that's not fair. 'Cause,
Because I once knew what I was going to do.
yeah, no, I have no fucking idea what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get some top level banter in this. I'm gonna go completely wild card. I'm gonna go Captain Boomerang.
Ooh,
I love
you did
Captain
go
I
wild
like
card.
that. He was kind of on my short list. So
Aquaman. You got the Aussie.
I'm gonna go with
best time at a
Darkseid.
party so far is JP's team.
It's specifically just gonna be a party. There's gonna be no doom and gloom in my DCEU.
It's a hangout.
Got Batfleck, got Darkseid. And then I'm gonna throw in Jared Leto's Joker.
Oh,
Ew!
ew. Corey loses.
Why would you do that?
Someone's got to pick him. He was
No,
actually.
No, actually, no one has to pick him.
He was actually going to be my cheeky first pick.
That would have been very cheeky.
Got more laughs than when you picked him third.
All right. JP, who's going in your hangout next?
Oh shit! I thought I had more time. Hold on, I have to look up DCU characters because I don't remember any of this shit. That's rough, man. That's rough. I don't know. Shit, goddamn. Ooh.
Who's going after Mr. Eisenberg?
Probably you.
Probably you. Shit. Do I have to pick someone with a superpower?
No.
No.
Pick anyone you want.
No, it doesn't have to be a metahuman.
Whatever they're called in the DCU.
Yeah.
Metahumans.
Yeah.
Is that it? Is that what they're calling them?
Yeah.
That's what they're calling them. That's what they call them these days. He's really
Cool.
not. You know what? Shit, dude. Shit. Well, there's still a Justice League person on the board. I don't think anyone's gonna take him though.
Poor guy. He was even like the highlight of that fucking movie, 4-hour movie, and no one will take.
I'm leaning hard villains here. I'm gonna go with Killer Croc. I really liked Killer Croc in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, he was fun.
And also, it fits the theme. We got Australians, Aquaman, and a crocodile. This is a beach party.
I'm gonna go Harley. I'd like to see her and Wonder Woman interact.
Okay.
Two in a row, Mr. LaMonaco.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Black Manta.
Oh, damn, that was going to be my next beach pick. It's fucked up. My aesthetics.
And
I'll
go Zod.
Ooh.
Oh, so you get Michael Shannon screaming.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to have him and Henry Cavill on the same team. Be like Henry Cavill like snaps his neck.
You broke my neck.
I'd love to see them like hash out like the after effects of breaking Zod's neck.
All right. Since you got Superman, I'm gonna take his pops. It's going Jor-El.
Okay. I thought you meant fucking Pa Kent, who gives the worst
Pa
fucking
Kent.
advice in the world.
Oh, man.
I'm thinking Russell Crowe.
I mean, he's good at fighting.
No one wants Kevin Costner? God.
I know you got all those superpowers, son, but I just want you to
know
go
how to
ahead
spell
and not
Jor-El.
use them.
Doesn't look like you can spell Russell either.
No, I can't.
Russell Crowe.
I don't know.
However it feels, Doug. However it feels. You just go ahead and write that down.
That is not it, but that's good enough.
Jor-El.
Think about how they do Kal-El and then just fucking swap it with Jor.
I know how to spell Kal-El, but for whatever reason,
Kal-El,
Jor-El.
no!
Alright, just fucking don't try it. Forget it. We know who it is.
Yeah, you're good. Russell Crowe only plays one person.
I had Russell Crowe in there so he wouldn't forget.
I'm gonna go with all right. So I got all these water types, and they're gonna be on the banks of the Arno, and they're gonna pull in Alfred, who's played by a different character. But he's drinking his Fernie Branca, and I'm going with Alfred Pennyworth, Jeremy Irons. He's gonna join the beach
Up in
party.
here.
Doug's still getting used to his new gear.
I'm still thinking about how to spell Jor-El. And
His new
for
keyboard.
those at home, he currently spelled it as Jurel.
Jurel.
Jor-El.
Ah, man. All right, I'm gonna go Ocean Master, Patrick Wilson.
Mm.
And then I have another one.
Dude.
All right, I'm gonna round these goons together with Commissioner Gordon.
Jack Gordon.
With Jack Gordon. He's gonna keep everyone in line.
Jacked for no reason, Gordon.
Yeah. All right, my list. It's gonna be a controversial pick. My list is good, but it can be better. And I'm gonna take Maxwell Lord.
Ooh. I wasn't expecting to see anyone from 1984 get.
I love his character.
Yeah, he's the
I
only
also love Pedro.
fucking good character of that movie.
All right. I feel bad for Cyborg. I'm picking Cyborg. Ray Fisher has had enough shit go on over the past few years. He has to eventually draft. Doug, you got two.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of movies in the DCEU.
There's a whole Wikipedia article here.
Jonathan Kent, Doug.
Got all them superpowers. Just go ahead and I'll use them. Even if I'm about to get killed by a tornado. Just gonna go ahead and just don't use your superpowers.
This is getting difficult. Oh, and Doug has two.
Mm-hmm.
You have two picks.
Yeah, of course I've got two back to back.
Yeah. Always makes it challenging.
So I'm gonna take Katana because I've heard that she's got a sword that'll steal the soul of the person.
Is that what her sword does? I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Are you drafting Mortal Kombat
I
characters?
had no idea. And her name is Katana, you say? Huh.
Rick Flag did such a good job of selling to me what she does.
Yeah,
her
I wish
power
they would have explained that a little bit more in the movie. Maybe just had a line dedicated to her entire backstory.
Oh man.
These teams are
Shithole movie that is.
The stupidest teams ever.
Oh yeah, I mean 100%. There are so few heroes in this fucking universe. It's ridiculous.
I'm gonna just go ahead and take Steppenwolf.
Do it.
But I want the Zack Snyder's Justice League one.
That's good. Yeah.
The coalition one.
The one that's actually like an actual character with depth to it, not just a shithole fucking CGI monster.
Not the man.
Yeah, the one that looks like
will not
way
be
more
named.
badass.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go with Rick Flag to deal with Harley.
Okay.
I think there's two G's on Flag
Shit. I had
for the spelling police.
I think you're actually right, Doug.
All right. I had two potential picks, but then I forgot them because I have a very small memory.
Amber Heard is still on the board.
How could I not pick that piece of shit? Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and abstain from fucking.
Get
Mara.
Willem Dafoe.
I thought about it.
Or Tamir Morrison.
Get the crab who plays drums.
Wait, what?
Oh, in the battle.
In the
In
fucking
the ocean battle.
I forgot about that movie. I'm going to pick. I'm gonna go deep dive here. I'm gonna pick Feora, who was, I think, the best Kryptonian in Man of Steel.
You're going so deep. I don't even know who that is.
So deep.
Oh,
she's got that badass scene where she like teleports and beats the shit out of
she was on Zod's team.
Yeah, she was one of
Yeah.
Zod's. She was like the only. I thought she was better than Zod in many ways without speaking because she didn't scream
black
all
hair.
the time.
Mm.
Literally the only woman, fucking Kryptonian that fights in that movie, aside from I guess his mom doesn't fight. Yeah, she's badass.
So I'm
you pick his
gonna.
mom, you get Martian Manhunter too. It's a bonus.
Martian Manhunter uses his powers just to fuck with everyone and have bad dialogue. Apparently, that's his deal. Oh, what a great scene! It'd be a shame if I ruined it by not actually being the characters. What a heartfelt
It was
scene.
like the most heartfelt scene.
Too bad it was me the whole time.
Gotcha, bitch.
Haha.
I've killed any sort of emotional connection that this scene had. And it was so easy.
Oh man!
All right, I'm
Such a
going.
stupid scene.
I'm
Last
going
pick.
to.
Better be a good one.
Yeah, it better
I'm
be a
gonna
good one.
round.
So you can still have the
these-
Joker.
I'm gonna round these band of misfits and Batfleck together with
I thought Commissioner
Joe-
Gordon was already doing that.
Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke.
They completely butchered his name.
Manganiello.
Mangeliano. Manganello.
Manganello, yeah.
Whatever.
Mangeliano. Shout out to Joe Mangeliano.
Oh my god.
Tomato.
More
Today,
absurd.
tomato to Mangeliano.
Wow. All right. This one is off the rails as I could have possibly hoped for. Gee, well, who thinks their team is even good?
No, mine's fucking horrible, but it'll be a party.
I feel like mine's decent, but
I think mine's pretty awesome.
Okay. Okay.
I mean I think the entire point of this was to show how much the suck. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, it's not a great. It's not a great
Not a
endorsement.
good look. Not a good
We're
look.
gonna do this with Marvel next month. I feel like it's gonna be very different, much more professional. Yeah, it's goofy. I got basically someone from every like realm other than the Atlantis. I got no fucking wet people.
See, you could have just
Um,
gotten Dolph Lundgren, and you would have been fine.
I didn't think of him.
Yeah.
The page I had didn't have Aquaman characters.
Oh, it's a damn shame. Yeah, you could
So
have
I
had
only went with the first like 5 movies.
could have had Defoe, or you could have had Dolph Lundgren. Both solid picks.
Yeah, but I got some Gotham people.
Could have gone with the giant squid.
Yeah, we can throw these on social and see who the fuck would anyone want these people to. I don't
Who
like
would watch a
anyone.
movie with these characters together?
All right, Corey, I just want to like look at yours real quick. We got Batfleck, Joker, Darkseid, Commissioner Gordon, Ocean Master, and is that it?
Joe
Now you-
Manganiello.
Okay. And Joe Mastrano. Yeah, that's a fucking. It's like half villains, half good people, and Gordon, just Jack Gordon.
Just Jack Gordon.
Jack
Do
Gordon.
you even have more than one hero? Is it just Batfleck?
Yeah, just Batfleck.
Dude, I don't have a single hero outside of Aquaman either.
JB, who do you got? You got Kevin Boomerang.
I guess I have
Aquaman,
fucking
Killer
Alfred.
Croc. Alfred. You went to Corey, right? You just took a random Batman side character.
Well, he was on the banks of the Arno, and I was originally making myself like a fully aquatic fun party, and they just pull him in. He's like, I see Batman, but I'm not even in that universe. So he gets pulled into the river. Now he's
Definitely
partying.
It's definitely entertaining with Maxwell Lord.
I love Maxwell Lord.
And W, who'd you have? You got Henry Cavill. So you got Superman Shazam. That was a good 1-2 punch.
Solid punch.
And we can recreate the arm wrestling match at the end of
Black
Shazam.
Manta and Zod. So you got a couple of villains. And then Katana and Steppenwolf. Steppenwolf, full fucking middle management bitch.
It was slim picking. It was slim pickings, but he took out all the Amazons. And,
Yeah. Zack Snyder's Steppenwolf
And
is good.
He's just like, I want to
Yeah.
review.
And
Review.
I made clear that I was on the spreadsheet that I picked Zack Snyder's Steppenwolf,
Fair.
not Josh.
I feel like I have
Joss
a little bit too
Whedon's.
much I have a little bit too much gravitas in mind for like speeches, having both Jor-El and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Like I feel like they might put the room to sleep with like just giving fucking
Long-winded
monologues.
speeches.
Yeah. Yeah. Then what else? I got some humor with Flash and Harley, and what else? Cyborg and
You got Rick
Rick
Flag
Flag.
for all his lines of exposition to explain all your characters and what their
he can
superpowers
explain
are.
what's going on.
This is Harley Quinn. She doesn't have any powers. Don't
She
let
has
her
a
talk
bad-
to you.
Now let's go to this place.
Fucking
And
everyone
save
has
the
my
day.
back. She's got my back.
All right. Well, yeah, this was our 49th episode, and we just went. So you're welcome. That is all we got. Thank you for listening. We're gonna be covering 2018 our yearly film series, so very close to the end of that. So stay tuned on YouTube or Twitch, or check it out on YouTube later. Since this is episode 49, our next installment is episode 50. Shocker. As long as you can, unless you can count, in which case it's obvious, but we'll surprise you with something next week. We're not exactly ready to reveal what we're going to be doing for episode.
But we totally know what it's gonna be.
We totally planned it out, and it's super special. And we just want to keep you on the edge of your seats until next week. But as always, this has been Corey W. Film. We'll see you again next time, movie lovers. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
Joe Manganiello.
Manganiello, actually. That's what I said.
Manganiello.
You're throwing me out there.
Just throwing me out there. Tomato to Manganiello. Corey, what fucking
man.
movie did you pick for 2018? What is this?
It's
Yes,
fantastic.
2018. Corey's got a rando pick.
It
I
looks like a
believe I talked
fucking,
about
like,
this. It's great.
It looks like a backyard movie.
It was made on a very small budget, but
It was
it's
made
pretty
in a
amazing.
backyard, actually.
Manganiello. I'm not putting up posters for this. Fuck this.
These movies suck.
I'm
Fuck that.
done. I'm too tired. I didn't plan for this shit. We have no posters tonight, people. Fucking deal with it. It's not like you even see it on YouTube anymore. Oh, you do, actually. Son of a bitch. Corey doesn't even have a poster. It's like the fucking DVD cover.
There's a poster. That
You-
is the poster. It wasn't in
Poster's
theaters.
embarrassing me.
It didn't come to. It wasn't in theaters.
Where'd you watch this one? Shutter?
No, it looks
No,
like
I
it was on, like,
actually-
PlayStation 4.
No, I rented this.
Yeah, I
on,
remember this video game.
I rented this on
The video game?
iTunes a while
It
ago.
looks like a video game.
I actually
Headhunter
talked-
is a video game.
Oh,
I
it-
talked
Corey,
about
did
this
you pick a
already.
video? Did you pick a video game,
Is
Corey?
this
I
you,
did not.
Bull?
You tried to get one past us because you know we don't know your movies.
So
I'm
I
not,
guess
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
even
jump
ready
into
for
my
you
movie.
to talk about it yet, Corey. I'm not even close to being ready for this. Some bullshit going on here, dude. Some
Doug
bullshit.
went with his obvious pick. I knew you were gonna do this one.
I actually was
What?
gonna do
Oh,
an even,
me?
I was gonna do an even more obscure
Yep.
movie, but
How can you get more obscure than what you're doing?
oh, there's ways.
Not even.
Corey has
Oh,
his
man.
ways.
This is
Corey could have
This is
picked
why Corey
some
doesn't
fucking
watch,
movie
like,
that he like.
episode 3 of a TV show because he just fucking turns on random.
He's like,
Although-
I love this movie. Some guy was selling it on the side of the fucking road in Times Square, and I picked it up, and it's actually a snuff film, but it was made in 2018. So I mean, there you go.
From Leonard Mullen on the back. So I knew.
Yeah, Dobby has come to warn you, sir. But it's actually just like someone gets murdered in this, and it's real. But I love it because I like spooky shit.
This movie won a lot of awards.
What awards did it win? Did it win a Palme d'Or? Because I don't think it did. Because it's no Clifford the Big Red Dog.
I don't even think it won an MTV Movie Award.
No.
Oh shit.
So I did make an agreement. I'm gonna watch. We'll see if I actually watch the whole thing, but I'm going to watch at least the first episode of Ted Lasso relatively soon. Maybe.
Well, if you have a soul, then you'll probably like it, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Usually takes one.
You gotta really watch more
a
than
show.
Yeah. I was about to say you're probably gonna need to watch more than one episode.
Why?
Doug, when there are so many
'Cause,
great
like
movies
Murph
like
said-
Headhunter to watch, how can he possibly have time to watch more than one episode? How? How? It's impossible.
I know at least for my wife it took a couple episodes and then she was hooked. So I think that's not
It's like not sold.
uncommon with TV shows.
No deal.
Yeah.
I will not even watch the first episode anymore.
It looks like Kate said he'll be watching it, so we have confirmation that that'll be happening.
Good. I mean,
All right, Charlie, you're gonna be watching episode 1.
Yeah, it's
and
okay,
maybe
just-
2.
Just make sure that it's more than the first episode, because it may take an episode or two for that story to get going.
it's going to be like 3 hours later. Corey's like, oh, this is a really long first episode. Yes. Yes, it is. I
Get
wish-
him liquored up and just fucking put your hand in front of his eyes with the credits of each episode.
It's fitting that Clockwork Orange is getting a 4K remaster because that's exactly what she's going to do to you to make you watch fucking.
Oh
Ted
God.
Lasso.
Oh God. That's making me cringe.
Do you see?
I think so.
Yeah, the eye thing. She's gonna go full Red Dragon too. Do you see? This is heartwarming, Corey.
Where'd
Do
you get
see?
that massive tattoo from?
Do you see? It's just Ted Lasso tattoo. Do you see?
Jason Sudeikis' face
Yeah.
with his dumb mustache.
Dumb mustache. Shut your goddamn mouth.
He's doing the dance. And if you move around, does the Ted Lasso dance too?
Hell yeah. All right.
I feel like this is going to be another Schitt's Creek where I'm just not going to get into it, like, fully.
I don't know, because I never got into Schitt's Creek, but
I mean-
I'm a Ted Lasso fan.
Neither did I. I'm ready.
Corey, let's hear about the Headhunter.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a great video.
So-
game. What system is this for?
So the Headhunter, I actually did talk about this on an episode a
No, you
while
didn't.
back. Yes, I
We don't
did.
believe you.
I did. It's a fantasy horror movie. Well, it's got a little bit of horror in it, but takes place. It's like a medieval period. It's a warrior who's basically he takes on different types of like contracts from kings and kills off monsters. He doesn't kill off people. He kills off monsters. And he collects their heads as trophies, headhunter. And the movie picks up with him reminiscing about his daughter who gets killed. And the movie follows just this one character. There's literally only one actor in the movie. There is no other actor but the main actor, Christopher Raya, I think that's his name. He's the only actor in the movie. And he lives in
A
seclusion.
one-man show.
It's a single player
Um,
game.
And it's a pretty short movie. It's only it's under 120 minutes. And it follows this character on these couple contracts trying to find the monster that he's supposed to kill, and then he realizes that the monster that he has to kill is the monster that killed his daughter years back. So you get backstory. It's shot, like I said, it's shot really well. You get good action. It's horror infused, so it's very tense. It's a good movie. There's also no talking.
Fuck is this movie?
It's a video game.
One actor and no talking.
It's a
Yep,
video
No
game.
talking.
This doesn't sound like a real movie.
Watch it's awesome. I'm
How many
pretty sure I
tomatoes?
watched. I think it has like 70 or something.
It's way too many tomatoes for a video game.
I definitely watched this right when the lockdown started. That's when I found it. I think.
Get it up. The Headhunter, 2018. Rotten Tomatoes.
PlayStation 5.
It's got a 97.
just-
It's got a 94%. It's got 94 tomatoes.
Ooh, we got ourselves a hit on our hands.
Way too many tomatoes.
The audience score is a 53. I don't know why that happened.
Yeah, I don't.
But
They were probably
critics,
fucking sick of no one speaking.
94. Looks like Predator from the poster that I'm seeing. Alrighty.
It also reminded me of just the way the monsters were, like kind of like Hansel and Gretel-esque, like that, and like Beowulf. It had that
like
kind
the
of feel to it.
Jeremy Renner, Hansel and Gretel.
No, just like the story. Just it was like gritty medieval type of monsters and horror. But yeah, it's a good movie. I recommend watching it. All seriousness.
Alrighty. Doug, what have you not said about this movie that you picked?
Nothing. There's nothing that I haven't said about it. So I expect this to be very. I picked Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. One of the best superhero movies, in my opinion, ever made. It's awesome. It's available on Netflix. Check it out. I've said, I think, everything else there is to say about this movie. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out. Check out this movie. I couldn't. To mix it up, I wanted to pick something else for 2018, but I could not pick this movie because it's that good. So this has been an advertisement to see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, available on Netflix.
Yeah. It was okay.
I will say one thing with Spider-Verse. I remember when Murph and I saw it in theaters and we saw it 3D. It was so cool. It was like one of the coolest experiences, probably next to Avatar in 3D. But yeah, that's the only contribution I have that probably hasn't been said.
Yeah, I watched this with my brother. Forced him to watch it, and he was like not into it. It was very upsetting. So apparently there are
Yeah, Kate didn't like it.
some people without souls that just like this movie, but to me this is, I don't know, I just love this movie.
Hi, I'm soulless.
Yeah.
I didn't find it that great.
We got a soulless person here.
I also I watched Mitchells and the Machines too recently, and I fucking really didn't like that either. So
I guess it's Sony Animation.
right? Yeah, I'm just not a fan.
Yeah.
It's quirky.
Yeah, it's a little too quirky for me. It's like that quirky person that thinks they're quirky, but they're just kind of like Venom 2.
JP, I've never seen the one you picked. I wanted to though.
Oh, it's a great
It's good?
movie. Yeah, I love this movie. This is it's Bad Times at the El Royale, and it's not a Royale with cheese. It's a hotel.
Royale with Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, with Chris Hemsworth, who's like not really in the movie that much, but has
No.
he has a great part in it. This is a complete box office bomb. Don't think it even made back its money. And it was like a really cheap movie to make. I think it's like 30 mil. Didn't even make it back. It's got good reviews, though. A lot of people complain about it's like kind of slow paced, which I really dig because it's got a very tense vibe to it. So it's about all these strangers that are up in this hotel called the El Royale, which is on the border of, I believe, California and Nevada. And they get reined in. It almost feels like Identity, that movie with John Cusack.
Yeah, kind of had that like vibe from the trailer.
Yeah, and it definitely plays that out. Everyone's got their own weird motives for being there, and it all unfolds as the movie goes on. There's a lot of cool mythos in it, a lot of cool backstories for the characters. It's a beautiful looking movie.
It's a great poster.
It's a wonderful poster. All the marketing for it was pretty wonderful. They put Chris Hemsworth out there without a shirt on to attract the people, and he plays a part in it, but he's not really the main focus of the movie. This one, and then it's like this one and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood they grabbed me these last like 2018, 2019. Just such good stylized pieces in the 70s in California, maybe the 60s. I think it's the 70s though, in California, and it's just
Yeah, it looked like the 70s.
yeah. This is definitely a movie worth watching. Definitely a movie worth watching. It's not nearly as bad as the box office makes it seem, but yeah, you got a lot of really good character actors in this, and just a cool, tense crime mystery thriller type movie.
All right, well, whenever the hell it shows up on one of the platforms I have, I will definitely watch it.
Yeah.
Is it not available on a platform? Because I've seen this movie and I've seen it at home.
I've only
So is
seen
it
it
not
like
like
for
an-
VOD.
Okay. Huh. Maybe I rented it.
I might own this movie.
Really?
Yeah, this might be one of the very few movies I own. Just because I kind of like the way it looked.
Who was the wasn't there a big actress that was like the singer that shows up as one of the main characters?
What is it? It's Dakota Johnson's in it. Cynthia Erivo is the main woman. Jeff Bridges is in it. John Hamm. Pretty much it. They kind of carry the whole thing. Russell Crowe is credited. I don't remember Russell Crowe being in this movie.
Yeah, so Cynthia Erivo is the one I was thinking of, where singer that shows up.
Yeah.
Is she like the star of it?
She's pretty much the star of the movie. She has a wonderful voice.
Yeah.
And she's just like she's a singer that's kind of, I think she's sort of the fish out of water in this one, is that she's the odd person out that's not there for a reason, and you see most of the movie through her eyes as she's discovering that everyone else has some sort of reason for being at this hotel. It's pretty neat.
All right, and then for my pick, I tried to go with something I never talked about before on the show, so I went with Hotel Mumbai. It's an action thriller based on true events, the 2008 Mumbai attacks at the Taj Mahal Palace Hotel. Dev Patel's in it. He works at the hotel. Is in it as well. He's like one of the American guests that are there. Just a really fucking brutal, like, kind of feels like a real time type movie of these attacks at the hotel from these terrorists who come in just basically just with guns, and completely take over the hotel, and are just, their whole mission is just basically killing as many people as possible. So it's a tough watch. But I thought it did a good job of showing like the entire situation, really not like shielding and making it feel like safe. Like it's like, this is what happened. It's fucked up. And this is how it ultimately ended. This is obviously the terrorists get taken down by the end of the movie, but a lot of bad shit happens before then. You're watching it from mostly the perspective of guests and things like that, trying to figure out how to deal and get out of the situation alive. Jason Isaacs was in it too. He's like a Russian gangster or something, which was kind of weird. But he plays a pretty big supporting role. And otherwise, it's not really anyone you'll recognize from movies.
Dev Patel's in it.
Yep, Dev Patel. Yeah, he works at the hotel in it.
How is Jason Isaacs as a Russian guy? Is he
He's
still,
like
is he
he's
come
like
off as like pretty British?
No, he comes off like with an accent. He doesn't come off as like
It's
too
not
British.
like what's his face in Black Widow.
Yeah, no, it's not
Come
like
off
Ray, not like Ray Winstone.
Yeah.
Fucking, Army Hammer's in this too.
Yeah, the cannibal.
I'm pretty sure my dad was in Mumbai. I don't know for sure around the time of these attacks because I remember my mom mentioning something about it. He always finds himself in really, really bad areas.
Really sketchy situations.
Yeah, I think he was in China.
Either before or after the fact.
Yeah, I think he left China like a couple weeks before Tiananmen Square happened too.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're in the mood for any sort of like real time-ish like type of action thriller, it's definitely one. Taking a peek at, just don't be squeamish because it doesn't flinch.
Yeah, gonna go ahead and not watch this one.
Go ahead and pass.
Yeah.
This is up my alley.
Yeah, he'd probably dig it. All right, let's get to the extra picks. We got our Marvel movies: Black Panther, Infinity War, and Ant-Man. Wasp. Can't forget about the Wasp.
Yep. Well, yeah.
Or you could. I mean, it's up to you.
Could just forget about all the Ant-Man movies.
Deadpool 2, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even think we can agree if it was a step up from the first one or not. I feel like we don't even remember what happened for the most part in Ant-Man 2.
I mean, I enjoyed it, but yeah, it wasn't really memorable at all.
I didn't like
It was a step down for me.
It's a shitty
Ant-Man the
villain in
Wasp.
it
I thought the
too.
villain kind of sucked. Yeah. Ghost or whatever the hell her name was.
Yeah, it was fucking terrible.
Oh yeah, it was Ghost, and then Walton Goggins also was like a side villain.
Yeah.
She was funny.
It was a step down from Corey Stoll, the first one.
Yeah.
And it also followed Infinity War, which didn't help at all because, my God, that cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Go from
I don't give
that.
a fuck about any of this shit.
Yeah, just give me fucking Endgame now. You're not even giving me a teaser or a trailer. Fuck you.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, all we got was Ant-Man. That was it.
Yeah, I mean, it had that cool post-credit scene where you saw that they all just like everyone disappeared basically from the snap, but that was really it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Black
That
Panther
became the post-credit scene for a couple things.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the post-credit scenes from that movie.
Which one?
Ant-Man.
It was the one where they all disappeared from the snap. And Scott was stuck in the quantum realm.
Oh, yeah.
In a truck.
Yeah, in the truck.
Exactly.
Yeah. I do remember that, actually.
I actually don't think I saw it before I saw Endgame. So I was wondering why the fuck he was in a truck. And then I was like, oh, it's Ant-Man. I don't give a shit. And I just,
why did the cat let him out of the truck?
Yeah, I didn't give a fuck. I think it was just like one of those things where like I don't understand this, but I also don't care.
Whatever, I'll move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like a huge plot point.
Yeah, it's like one of those.
Just like the movie will move on in a few minutes.
Yeah. Oh no.
So will I.
Anyway.
Yeah. And then Black Panther, which unfortunately is now basically a standalone movie.
Yeah.
But a pretty epic one it was. Really good villain from with Michael B. Jordan, and it was weird that Chadwick Boseman seemed like, I don't know, like not even was kind of like The Dark Knight, where he seemed like the third or fourth most important person.
Yeah.
But still gave a great performance. Halloween, we're still waiting on the second one, but or the third one, since Halloween is technically the sequel to Halloween. And now Halloween Kills would technically be Halloween 3, which
true.
they never, I guess in the old universe would be Halloween H2O, or if you're going by like the 3, the Secret of the Witch, which really was a reboot. So you'd say Halloween 3 was Halloween 4.
My brain is
It's a
mush
con-
now.
Yeah, it's a convoluted series is what I'm saying.
Incredibly.
But yeah, it was a cool reboot. Seeing Jamie Lee Curtis come back was very different than how she came back Halloween H2O the last time they rebooted it.
She died.
Her movies. She died in Halloween Resurrection.
Mm-hmm.
But Busta made it out alive.
I mean, he made Michael Myers cry. That's canon.
They'll never be able to live that down.
I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, but excited to see what David Gordon Green and Danny McBride bring for the second one. All right, JP, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I got one up already. We talking The Lie right now?
We're talking The Lie.
Talking The Lie.
I think The Lie is with Joey King.
It is Joey King, yeah, and
right.
Peter Sarsgaard.
It was recommended to me yesterday.
Mhm.
I didn't have time to watch it yet, but tell me a little bit about this one.
Okay, it's got 43 tomatoes. A father and a daughter are on their way to dance camp. Sounds pretty joyous and happy when they spot the girl's best friend on the side of the road. When they stop to offer the friend a ride, their good intentions soon result in terrible consequences. What those consequences are, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It doesn't go any farther beyond that, but
Apparently, it's a mind fuck.
yeah, it sounds.
You haven't seen it yet, Corey?
Nope. I was gonna watch it today. I didn't get a chance to.
All right. Well, we can check it out sometime in the near future.
Okay.
Next up, we have A Simple Favor. This is Henry Golding, kind of like an old school like Hitchcock type movie, but set in present day and with very much like millennial characters running the show. It was a fun one. I watched it last year, or maybe it was earlier this year. That anymore, but yeah, I think it was on Hulu. Am I the only one who's seen this one?
Yeah.
Paul Feig. I think I talked about it on the podcast earlier. If I'm not mistaken.
Not something I'll be watching.
Yeah, it's not up your alley. But yeah, it's definitely plays more like a drama than dramedy. I don't know. It's not like the typical Paul Feig comedy.
Mm.
The Book Club, is this the one with
It's got a bunch of old women. In it.
Diane Keaton, is she one of them?
Yep, Jane Fonda.
You always count on
Bergen,
Diane Keaton to be in one of these types of movies.
Mary Steenburgen,
Mary Steenburgen too. She's
Andy Garcia, and Don Johnson. Oh, also Coach is in it, Craig T. Nelson.
Of course.
That's a cast.
It is a cast.
Yeah. They start a book club. Do they have sex with gigolos or something?
4 friends' lives are turned upside down.
Is it it's a horror
when
movie.
their book club tackles the infamous 50 Shades of
With
Grey.
a ghost.
Oh,
There's no ghouls, only sexual deviants here.
God damn it.
They discover new romance
sexual deviance
to rekindling old flames, and they inspire each other to make their next chapter the sexiest and best chapter possible. I added the sexiest because it sounds like it's going to be sexy.
It sounded like it fit.
Sexy old people. That's the name of this movie.
The
We're
Sex
old.
Book Club.
We're old, but we
That
still get
cast.
after it. You
That
know?
cast fucks.
They do.
That cast fucks. For
I mean,
old
I think
people.
that's the point of the movie. Is this cast is just a bunch of people that bang constantly in the old.
It's a
people.
Godfather 3 reunion with Andy Garcia and Diane Keaton.
Yeah.
The Sex Book Club.
I'm sure it was exactly what they were expecting to make
Full
after Godfather
sex
Part 3.
scenes in this movie, probably.
All right. Next up, we have The Kissing Booth.
Dude.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first part of a Netflix trilogy.
I don't know, but we are back with Joey King. This is Joey King's year.
It's your year.
It's-
Yeah, this is.
We always
this is a
have
Netflix
one.
trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it said the third one came out this summer on Netflix.
It has 15 tomatoes.
That's not a lot,
It's not a lot of tomatoes.
but it's good. But tell me about it.
I just,
Why
you
are
know,
they-
it's got Molly Ringwald in it, and it's about a high school student that finds herself face to face with her long-term crush. Ooh. When she signs up to run a kissing booth at the spring carnival. So I would imagine all sorts of horrible ghouls come out, and it's hilarity ensues, and Molly Ringwald's probably kind of a bitch in it. Because
Molly Ringwald's like, how did I go from being the fucking year-old in these movies? The fucking
Yeah.
mom.
yeah.
God damn it. Time. All right, well, it made a trilogy.
Okay.
Joey King, I think, has like a deal with that.
Good for her.
I guess it started.
Yeah,
from
I'm
this.
pretty sure it had like a following. The kissing booth.
Well,
Yeah.
it's got Kate.
All right. Set it up.
Set it up. Got Zoe
this the-
Deutsch.
Was this
Oh,
the dancing?
It's another Deutsch.
We got
Was this the dancing movie?
Deutsch.
Was this the one with like all the dancing?
That's
like
Step-
the street
that's
dance,
Step
the
Up.
street dancing.
That's
Oh,
Step Up or Stomp
Okay.
the Yard. The streets.
All right.
It's got
Completely different
It's
movie.
got Tay Diggs in it.
Let's save the last dance.
It's got a weird cast. Zoe Deutsch, Lucy Liu's in this one. Tay Diggs.
Was Tay Diggs in Save the Last Dance?
I don't know.
No.
I don't think so.
This movie has 92 tomatoes.
Oh, damn.
It's two overworked and underpaid assistants come up with a plan to get their bosses off their backs by setting them up with each other, and obviously probably hilarity ensues.
Well, always. Zoe Deutsch, she knows how to pick them.
I guess.
People know how to pick her. I don't know. I feel like we've talked about her a lot.
We have. I mean, we're definitely getting into like the Zoe Deutsch
Era.
decade or
yeah.
era, yeah. It's pretty wild.
Who knew she had in there? But apparently she has.
She's low key building up her empire.
There you go. Midnight Sun.
Dude,
What is this one?
This sounds like it has ghouls in it, right? It's got
We can hope.
Nope.
It sounds
No.
ghoulish.
No. The only ghoul that's in this movie is Bella Thorne.
Ooh,
Patrick
Bella Thorne.
Schwarzenegger's in it. Rob Riggle.
Patrick Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
I remember hearing about this one, but that's it.
Okay, so it's got 21 tomatoes. It's got Bella Thorne in it. Sheltered since childhood, 17-year-old Katie Price lives with a life-threatening sensitivity to sunlight. Her world opens up after dark when she ventures out to play her guitar, so she might actually be a vampire.
The goddamn ghoul.
So she is
Yeah,
an
cool.
actual.
She's
She's a guitar
And
play, she's a guitar playing ghoul.
She lures random travelers in with her guitar. One night, Katie encounters Charlie, a young man she's secretly admired for years. As fate leads to a budding romance, Katie desperately tries to hide the fact that she's a fucking vampire.
This sounds like what's that? Jennifer's Body. Wasn't she a monster in that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think she's actually a monster in this movie.
She
I
could
think
go
she's
out
just
during
like
the day, though.
incredibly pale.
Mm.
She was ghoulish, though. Megan Fox in that film.
Yeah.
Oh, she was definitely a ghoul. She ate people, I thought.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck
I mean
people up.
Oh wow.
that's a ghoul there.
Yeah.
If I've ever seen one.
What was oh wow, Doug?
I didn't realize she was a monster, Jennifer. So I was surprised.
Oh,
that
yeah.
that movie- oh, Megan
Yeah,
Fox
she
eating
did.
people.
The Satanists take over her body. Adam Brody and other Satanists.
Oh, Adam Brody, still doing stuff.
Yeah.
Love it. Love to see it. I remember the time he was in Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right? And he just sat there like the whole time. Was that Mr. and Mrs.
He was
Smith?
in that.
No, what terrible movie was that in where they had him locked up in a hotel room the whole time?
I feel like I've seen it.
Yeah, we all saw it in theaters because I distinctly
No.
remember everyone being there. I don't think I would go see a movie with fucking Adam
He was in.
Brody.
He's been in a lot of movies.
He has been. He was in Shazam. I'm pretty sure it was Mr. and Mrs. Smith because he's in that movie.
Vince Vaughn was in that movie too.
Wow. Yeah, I'm 100%
Wow.
sure it's Mr. and Mrs. Smith at this point.
Okay, so that was during his OC days. Makes sense.
He was just locked up in a room, talking.
All right. We can go back to the superhero movies. We have Dead Space Pool 2.
I type it the way that
I'm-
it was typed in Twitch
I'm-
chat, man.
Mr. Pool. Mr.
I'm
Pool.
assuming that's Mr. Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Deadpool Jr.
Great flick.
We had a
Yeah,
great
waiting
after
for
the
the-
credits.
Waiting for the third one still.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Be nice.
In 3 years, and there's not a peep about it.
No peeps.
Waiting on that mouse.
Yeah, he holds all the cards. That goddamn mouse. All right, we got Solo, the Star Wars joint.
Not good.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
forgettable.
I had to turn it
disappointing.
off because I was running on the treadmill trying to watch it, and it made me want to like just give up and fall down and be shot through the wall. So I had to turn that off.
Did you turn something else on?
I believe I did. I forget what it was though. I think I put music on. I think my eyes had enough.
Whatever works.
Yeah.
Eldon Elderich, or what's his name again?
Alden Elric.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, he's no Harrison Ford. All right, now we get to the ghoul section.
Yeah. There's some
Uh,
rules.
Truth or Dare with Lucy Hale.
Mm-hmm.
I remember they play Truth or Dare in it. Basically, they can't end the game until they figure out how to end the game.
I remember this movie.
And they play the game.
Yeah, they play the game. Jumanji. All they have to do is roll doubles.
Yeah, it's like Jumanji of teen horror movies.
Yeah. It looks like this one girl gets like a Joker smile, like the whole
Yes.
time. That's fun.
Yeah, they all got Joker smiles. It's
creepy.
creepy.
Yeah, I don't like that. This
Um,
one looks very poorly photoshopped.
It's a Blumhouse movie. So it was
Wait.
cheaply made.
If you're stuck playing Truth or Dare, like, and I'm assuming they've accounted.
Oh, it's happening.
We've lost Doug.
It's happening.
Uh oh.
I think he just stopped talking.
Yeah, it's almost like his microphone just stopped.
What's up, Doug?
Speak,
What
Doug.
what were you saying about Truth or Dare?
No, I was just wondering, like, how is it that scary when it's not like Jumanji where like shit pops out of the. You've got animals everywhere. Like, I could just say like Truth. I'm gonna pick Truth.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I gotta tell you this like really
Yeah, I don't remember.
weird story. Like,
The
I don't-
truths were like telling things you really didn't tell other people.
I'm sure one of them killed someone else's brother or something like that, and they had no idea the whole time.
Yeah, it was like I hooked up with your boyfriend's boyfriend and stuff like that.
Apparently you cannot pick.
You can't
it picks
pick.
for
Yeah,
you.
it picks for you.
Oh yeah, and it knows like what you.
Oh,
don't, like, if
okay.
you, like,
That's
really
so
wouldn't
that
wanna
is
do.
very
Truth.
Jumanji.
But yeah, it's amusing. The Nun in the Conjuring universe.
That's a fucking ghoul if I've ever seen one.
Yeah,
It's a fucking religious ghoul.
yeah, with the worst kind of ghoul.
Yeah.
Is she actually
is
a nun?
the
or is she
nun
just-
scary?
Yeah, she's scary.
She's spooky looking, Doug. You ever see
Yeah.
her?
Because
She's
she
like,
popped up in like Conjuring 2, and I was like, I'm not.
She didn't get you. I think that's when
She
she's
didn't do anything for me.
freakiest.
what's her name? Valtrex or something like that?
Valak. Valtrex. Valak.
Okay.
It's Vigo.
Vigo.
it's
the
Vigo.
Carpathian. All right, I want a Conjuring movie about Vigo. I'll actually watch that.
That'd be
I'll sit in
amazing.
there.
Little
and get
did you
scared.
know, but Janosch makes an appearance.
Dude,
in
fucking does he really? Like,
he's painting the Nun.
is Peter McNichol actually in this movie? Because I would love to see that.
No,
Ah,
but he's too hot right now. That's why he didn't.
Yeah.
Yo,
Good
how hot
time
is he right now? What
in
is
his
he
day to
what
be
is
in
he
it.
right now?
Murph was
he-
trying to convince the other day that he is like
He's too in demand to be in
he's
Ghostbusters after all.
very in demand. Too
He was
much.
double Emmy nominated for guest role on Veep in the past like 5 years.
Wonderful.
Actually, one got taken away, so he was only once nominated,
God
but
damn
he
did
should have
he-
been twice.
Why did it get taken away from him?
He was in too many episodes, so
Oh.
they didn't realize that he was like in
Oh,
like
I thought maybe he did
half
something.
the episodes.
He's probably
No, Peter McNichol doesn't get in trouble.
no. He's amazing. He's
No-
probably
no one will cancel Peter McNichol.
he's probably still buried under all the Oscars he won for Dracula Dead and Loving It.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, we got Winchester. Is this a supernatural?
It is a
Is this-
supernatural movie.
But-
It's based on the
Oh no, I'm
actual-
thinking of
Yeah,
It's
come
I'm thinking
based
of
on
Wind
the-
Talkers.
Is it really
I'm thinking
based
of
on
Wind
TV show?
Talkers.
No, it's based on an actual thing. So Sarah Winchester, who was the heiress to the Winchester family fortune, built a house, and she was so crazy that she thought ghosts were coming to get her, so just continued building the house. You actually go see this house. There are doors that lead to nowhere. Like they'll lead outside just to like fall down and whatever. She just kept building 'cause she was afraid that the ghost would get her if she stopped building the house. But this one,
Why, if she stops building it?
I don't know. I truly don't know. It's I haven't read about this in years, but I remember reading about it. She was like all of the spirits of the people that were killed by the Winchester rifles she thought were haunting her. This one is an actual movie this is a movie with actual ghouls in it. It's got Jason Clarke, Sarah Snook, who I don't know who that is.
Oh, Sarah Snook from Succession.
Yeah, it's the most haunted house in the world. You know, it sits on an isolated stretch of land that's 50 miles outside of San Francisco. Built by Sarah Winchester, heiress to the Winchester fortune. It stands 7 stories tall and contains hundreds of rooms. To an outsider, it looks like a monstrous monument to a disturbed woman's madness. But Sarah's actually building a prison, an asylum for hundreds of vengeful ghosts. And the most terrifying among them said to have a score to settle with the Winchesters.
Sounds decent.
Yeah,
It's got Jason Clarke.
It's got 13 tomatoes.
Never mind. I'll pass.
This is like the twilight of Jason Clarke's career, I feel like.
Yeah.
He was so hot for a second.
Murph, were you talking about the CW show, Supernatural?
Yes.
Is this the Winchester brothers? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does not sound like it ties in any way to the TV show.
This is like based
Mr.
on
Jensen Ackles, right? Isn't that
Yeah.
based on a real life story. No Valtrex in this one.
I think no Valtrex.
No
But
Valtrex.
I think that's all she wrote for 2018.
Dang.
We'll see what
3 more
amazing
years.
movies get.
I've still seen no movies from 2020.
Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. Well, you can talk about fucking Hubie Halloween.
We've already talked about the best movie ever created so many times.
Hey, we're getting to the point where Hubie Halloween is gonna be, in season.
Annual
Soon.
Hubie
That's
Halloween
true.
episode.
Oh man, we gotta do a
We're
Hubie
approaching.
Halloween watch party.
We're approaching it.
We should be able to set something like that up.
Spoopy season.
You're gonna have to have an early Halloween party this year.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen.
But it'd be cool if you did.
It'd be cool if I did, but I'm pretty sure my house is gonna be packed up and
Ready to go.
ready to go at that point. It might be someone else's house.
That's
We'll
fair.
see. We'll see how that goes.
Figure it out come October. All right, but yeah, everyone watching, thank you. We'll see you next week or so. Be 2019.
Yeah.
We got 2 more to go.
All
Thank
those
you.
ghouls.
Have a wonderful evening. Bye.
That's how that's gonna end. What's